almost one-to-one grave burial of some Greek figure buried along with his horse in the way that Hector was in the story of Iliad. Is it Hector? We have absolutely no idea, because there's no way for us to determine that. There's no way for us to determine that whatsoever. So as I said, the question on the table in and of itself is a loaded question, because it assumes that we would know that if we did. Lucy is a name ascribed to some being that we put that name on. We don't know anything about that person's life, their being, their existence, nothing. We don't know what their kids were like. We have no idea about any of that stuff. So the question itself is problematic. When we're doing history, the primary means of reconstructing history is going to be in written documentation. These are called auxiliary, even our archaeology. These are auxiliaries of history. But history itself is determined by a written documentation. 99.9% of people are going to leave zero archaeological trace, especially the people who've already existed. So questions about why we haven't found Abraham, assuming that we haven't, assuming that we don't already have his bones and with no identity, right? Those questions sort of assume that archaeology, right, and digging up bones are going to do something that it can't. It's likely not going to identify the person who's there unless you have a marked grave. And so it's why the question on the table is stupid.
I've heard you break that down like a year ago, so I already knew you came up here what you was about to do.
I agree. I think I started saying something close.
Yeah, I've heard it break. I've heard him break it. You broke it down more eloquently before, actually.
Absolutely.
That was still a good one. Several reasons why it's like this question is like kind of
it's loaded.
I have a question.
It kind of makes a couple assumptions. Like
I have a legitimate question because I don't know. Is it somebody who we derive from, like we evolved from? Because that's not a human like us. That's like a pre-human, right? That's why we think evolution is correct, right?
Right. That's why may I? Before
is that correct? I don't know. I'm asking.
To respond, are you asking Leandre specifically?
No, I'm asking anyone. Anyone.
Okay. Yeah, I would say, you know, that people prior to that the Bible says formed, right? God formed. And we don't know the mechanical way of how God did that. We don't know every single detail of how he formed. Now, I know, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people will perceive two hands coming out the sky and squeezing some mud together, and all of a sudden there's a dude there. And that's not what the Bible says either. So formed can have, it has an ambiguity that allows room for us to learn later on how things were formed, how man was formed. Now, man is a different type biblically than what they consider beast. The term beast wasn't just used for animals. It was used for certain like primates or pre-humans, that even now when we talk about we consider certain things hominids but not humans. Oftentimes humans are often, that term human as a specification is delegated towards what do you call it? Homo sapiens, Homo erectus, and certain special variations of hominids. I mean, that they didn't have some form of origin correlation. I'm done.
So it was a hominid, but it's not a human, Homo sapien.
Right. It was like beasts of the field. They were like the beasts on the land, man. Yeah, they were not. They didn't have the same, cranial freaking daggone prefrontal lobe that caused them to be able to, start doing the things that mankind could.
So we turned into we were that, and we turned into that, right? we turned into what we are now from that. Correct.
Yeah, we talking about we. That wasn't we, because they weren't like us. I mean, we came from that. It's like mud. You know what I'm saying? You can turn back to dust. You got to think. Don't you think you could turn back to a monkey unless you get a part of your brain messed up?
No, I'm not saying going backward. I'm saying that was first, and then we evolved into what we are. Right? That's the story.
Yes, I would say formation leaves room for that. That's what I'm saying. I'm not speculating on the mechanics or saying that there's absolutes. I don't work in absolutes.
No, I'm not giving I'm not asking for absolute. I'm saying
I'm just giving you the reason why it can work in that understanding, because biblically it does not give mechanics. It's not a science book. It gives formation. It gives broad scopes that literally the processes as we learn, because the Bible says that that knowledge would increase. and that we would have all things would come to our remembrance, and things would be, our knowledge would be corrected. The Bible gives room for learning. It actually encourages it. To study to show thyself approved, and to sharpen iron, and to daggone study all things. So there was never a in the Bible, oh, this is how it happened, you know what I'm saying? 6 days, you know, this is why I'm going to smush Naphtali, you know what I'm saying? Oh, yes, the 6 days of 6,000 years, and then, you know what I'm saying, man was formed out of dirt, you know what I'm saying? No, it's not, y'all are reading in crayon.
Hold on. After you, it's a queen. Was supposed to be next, but she
Himself,
jumped the panel. She was supposed to clean up. Land your plane. Though. I wasn't trying to cut you off.
I'm done. He asked the second question. I was already finished.
Can I say something next?
After it's a queen, you got it.
Thank you. So what I was trying to say about the brother's point about the Lucy not being able to identify who and what Lucy is, according to her day-to-day life, depending and using that as a segue into why we can't find Abraham was it was just null and void for me, right? Because one thing does not automatically equate to the other thing. Abraham's story isn't made in a bubble. It has you know, a unique history to it. There's a whole bunch of people on the planet. It's not even that long ago. Like, there's so many different things that's going on that finding Abraham's skeletons will be way easier and way easier to identify than it would be a Lucy, right? Because Lucy, you're right. I agree with you. Lucy is something that somebody, you know, named for it. But it's not just a name. They named them. They were able to classify Lucy in the animal classification chart because that animal classification chart was already out there. So we know that she is of a hominid because based on her hips, based on her shoulders, based on her hands, based on her feet, we could tell that she's a bipedal based on her skull, based on her spine, based on her feet again. So there's literally metrics that you go through to figure out what a hominin is, what a hominid is, and everything else. So trying to equate those two because we can't tell her daily single life, well, guess what? We could tell that she broke her shoulder twice and was healed. So Lucy's tribe believed in medicine. We can tell that from the bones. There's a whole lot of things we can tell from the bones. And when it comes to Abraham, there's a whole culture as well. Because when we start burying people, that's our first sign of culture. There's a whole thing that goes around it. Sometimes you have beads. Sometimes you have, you know, pelts and all of these different things that will classify you underneath a certain culture. That's how we know the Israelites. We were just talking about the Israelites and the way they built their homes. So we can look and see by the way they built their homes that that's an Israelite home. So what you were saying for me just didn't make sense when you was trying to correlate it to the Abraham skeleton. That's just how I feel about it. You can take it or leave it.
No serious archaeologist thinks that direct archaeological evidence will be found that can verify the historicity of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, or the latter and his clan to Egypt. As a field archaeologist myself, I'm keenly aware of how little has actually survived from the ancient past owing to natural forces such as moisture in many forms, deflation, and earthquakes, as well as human impact in the form of later occupation in ancient times, reusing earlier building materials, human destruction, war and burning, and modern development, urban and agriculture. Realistic expectations about what archaeology can and cannot do for biblical studies must always be kept in mind. Now, that is the archaeologist James Hoffmeyer on this topic. So the idea, again, the whole point is that we know nothing about who the person Lucy actually was, whatever that being was, what they did every day. So you wouldn't know that person's name. So likewise, if you'd found some skeletons or some bones, and Abraham wouldn't have been an Israelite, which is later. Abraham was actually from the period right around the period of time where we actually start to get, it's the period of time of prehistory, right at the edge of prehistory. As a historian myself, it's the time period about around prehistory. So no serious person thinks that if you find some bones, it's going to say, unless you have a marked grave, that it's going to say Abraham. 99.9% of people who have ever lived on the planet as of today have never left any archaeological marker. That doesn't mean that they didn't exist, and we also don't expect to find it in the first place. Anyone who thinks that we actually do expect to find that right there has no idea what we do in the field of archaeology or history. Has no idea whatsoever. That's why I just cited an archaeologist just now, James Harfmeyer, an archaeologist, who says that right there is a fool's errand in itself. Why do we know nothing about the day-to-day life of Lucy? Because when we look at the bones, we don't even know if that being had a name, if how it communicated, what it did on Tuesday. Like, we have absolutely no idea if there was a following, if it was the leader, if it had religious practices, if it was a member of a cult. We have absolutely no idea, because that's not what the bones are going to do. Anyone who thinks that the bones themselves are going to do that is playing a fool's errand. History is done primarily by written documentation. How do we primarily discover things in history? By written documents. So again, talking about, we found Lucy's bones, but not Abraham. We have no idea whether we have Abraham's bones or not, because the bones are not marked with names on them. Most of the people who are buried in graves, right, have no burial markers on their graves. Most graves that we found in history have no burial markers, 0. And that's if they were buried in the first place. We have absolutely no idea if we have found Abraham's bones, if they were moved later, if there was a grave that was robbed later, if his bones are ground up and used for wheat to feed a giant. We have no idea. Okay, so again, it's silly. It's a silly argument. It's a non-starter. It's not how history is done. It's not how we recount history of that time period either.
Can I go now?
Okay. Can I go?
It's on you,
Hello?
brother. It's on you. You got it.
All right. Thank you very much. Peace and blessing to Titans Debate League. Shout out to Lions Den, JJ7K TV, people watching over there. All right. So, yeah, it is kind of a crazy analogy to say we found Lucy, but we don't find Abraham. It's kind of like comparing apples to oranges. So let's take a look into it, ladies and gentlemen. See, so certain evolutionary scientists have talked of Lucy since the 1970s as a supposed ape-like ancestors of humans. It's probably the world's most famous extinct ape. Lucy kind was roughly the size and shape of a chimpanzee. Scientists recently described a tiny foot of a toddler of this extinct species, but this foot looks like an ape's, which clearly clashes with the Live Science article title. Ancient human ancestors had to deal with climbing toddlers. Does this species really deserve human ancestry status? That's the question, ladies and gentlemen. So when you go to the University of Chicago, they discovered the remains back in the 2000s. He and other paleontologists described the foot in Science Advances. He told Live Scientists, I'm almost done, that the big toe on the fossil post this note-sized foot did not stick out of the side like it does modern chimps, but was curved inward like today's tree climbing apes. The study authors speculated that Lucy's kind could grasp and climb tree branches with his feet. I'm almost done. So both anatomy and evolutionary disagree, have already debunked Lucy as any kind of human ancestor. Evolutionists don't all agree that Lucy was a human ancestor, because not one of his ape-shaped bones was shaped exactly like the corresponding bones in the human body. So both anatomy and evolutionary disagreement have already debunked Lucy as any kind of human ancestor. And I'm just gonna stop there. I just wanted to say that. I'm gonna let everybody else chime in. But I got more information. Maybe me and Indigenous Black men can come and do a presentation on this, because we had me, Indigenous, and Cedric, and Blue Collar Scholar. We beat the shit out of Cedric on this topic.
That, come over here and do a presentation. Hell yeah, man.
Oh, for sure. Hey, you got me.
I don't even like using
commercial, family.
Yeah, I would love for you to come do a. Say that one more time, JJ.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can hear you.
I see your new advertisement. I see you got me in the commercial sitting on the line.
Yeah,
I like
man,
that.
Your animation was so
Tommy.
fire. I threw you in there, and like I knew you was gonna. I know we gonna set something up with you eventually. You've been around.
Let's be real for a second. Some of you claim you're the best debaters in the game, but every week you're still arguing for free. You study, you prepare, you show up, you give them viral moments, and the platform gets paid, not you. That's not competition, that's exploitation. Some leagues built their entire reputation off the backs of debaters they never intended to compensate. Clips, views, donations, super chats, and the people creating the content still walking away with nothing. Over here, we don't play that game. We are one of the only debate leagues actually paying debaters, reinvesting back into the community. Because if your arguments generate value, you deserve value. So here's the reality check. If you're really the monster you claim to be, if your research is really as sharp as you say, if you really think you could dominate any room, then prove it. And here's where the stakes are real. Warriors don't fight exhibitions forever. They fight where the prize is. So you have a choice. Stay comfortable debating for exposure, building someone else's empire, or come step into the arena where serious debaters get respect and paid. This isn't charity. This is combat.
Yes, that's
I
the
got a-
ad
I
he's
have a
talking
question.
about. And we had a storm here in Ohio this weekend and knocked the internet out literally for 2.5 days. My internet just came back on. So the debate that we had Saturday and the results show that we were supposed to have today are going to be rescheduled. Yesterday we were supposed to have this debate. We're going to, it's to be announced. We're going to reschedule it. I see y'all right in the comments.
This
now.
Saturday, March 14th, the Battle of Truth, the clash of intellects, Leandre McBride versus Elder Yara. Can Elder Yara, the seasoned veteran with decades of debate experience, prove he's an Israelite using only scripture? Or will Leandre, the brilliant PhD scholar, dismantle his claim with razor-sharp logic and scholarly precision? It's a high-stakes debate where faith meets knowledge and history is on the line. Two giants, one question. Can Elder Yara prove his Israelite identity through the word? This is a battle you don't want to miss. Tune in to Titans Debate League and witness the ultimate war of words. Who's got the facts? Who will leave the other in the dust? The countdown to the debate begins now. Coliseum of arguments. Only the brave speak here. Are you not entertained?
Rescheduling this one. This one I was excited about this one. I had a lot of people in my inbox hitting me up, telling me they were coming to see Yara and the PhD scholar Leandre McBride. So be on the lookout for that one coming up probably next weekend or the weekend after. I'm gonna get you with Yara and get a date locked in with them two gentlemen.
Can I ask a question to Jose Francis?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I thought it was my time to speak.
Who was that?
I got just two questions. Just
that
two. It'll be very short. I promise.
Go ahead, bro.
Mr. Francis, how many Egyptian kings or pharaohs were there in the entirety of since the Renaissance of Egypt? How many were there? Ancient Kemet.
Okay, clearly you didn't hear when I made a statement before that I don't want to have any conversation with you. So
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. That's fine. A1, how many Egyptian kings are there?
I have no clue. You got me. I'm stunned.
Yeah, so
I don't even know none of
yeah,
this.
around 200 or so. Okay, and here's the other question I have for you, A1, and I'll leave you with this: how many do we have the bones for?
I don't know. Teach. I have no.
I mean, you got the pretend Egyptologist up here, but so he should be able to say how many do we have bones for, and that leads no one to conclude that those other Egyptian kings did not exist. I land my plane.
Hey, can I say something real quick?
I got your point on that one. I got your point.
Yeah.
Well,
Hold on. So just because he didn't want to respond when he asked him a question. So Jose, you got to wait.
Okay. I'm gonna go after Jose.
No. I didn't say I didn't want to respond.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jose. I saw your thing moving, but I didn't actually hear your voice.
I said I didn't want to talk to him.
Yeah, I get it. I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah,
right. But what I'm saying is this, right?
Situation. Chisai, go ahead.
Can I say something now?
After Chisai, it's on Chisai.
No problem.
Yeah, so I really came up here, like I said, to for that Owaspi crap that was being spilled up here, but he didn't got off the panel. He didn't dipped. But Humble was on him. He knew exactly what to say. As far as this whole Abraham thing, it just shows that you don't know the culture and everything. Like, please tell me where the bones of the actual kings at. Like, Come on now. If we don't even have the bones of the actual kings, and we know that they're writing, why would you expect for them to find Abraham's grave? Like that's not going to be. They're not obsessed with writing on their on their grave sites and stuff like that, like Egypt. Like I don't know what you expect when you deal with other cultures. Like that's just ridiculous to think. So anyway, like you wanted them to say, oh, this is the grave site of Abraham. But yeah, we don't got no. Oh, this is the grave site of Hezekiah. This is the grave site of King David. This is the grave site of Isaiah. Like make it make sense. So as far as that that whole conversation is stupid. But I'm glad Jose Francis got back on because for one I wanted to apologize to the brother, but I wanted him to I told him I was gonna get the audio for him and then I'm gonna explain to him like where I was coming from. So I'm gonna play the audio for you real quick. I want to know if y'all can hear this.
Looking like Trump, acting like we didn't see.
Y'all can hear that, right? Yeah, no, y'all can hear that.
Audio good. Audio good.
That was just said. It's just ridiculous. Scripture. He went to a scripture where it said wicked men. So we're gonna ignore wicked men. Okay. Third, then you went to a scripture where it says take the vengeance. Right? All you had to do is read the scriptures. Why you didn't read what Midian did to Israel first? Why you didn't read that part? Same thing we can do with Seir. When y'all can say, oh, they told y'all go kill the Amalekites. Why you didn't read what the Amalekites did to the Israelites before you get to that part? You niggas is weak. Now address Egypt, talking about their God gave them permission to go destroy God and expand. But you can't show us no dates or time.
So I was trying to tell you, like our tension between us and those other guys is like it's before you even try to have a conversation with me, and you in the middle of it, I gave you a lot of aggression that you necessarily didn't always deserve. So you were saying like specifically, you never said that and all that, bro. I'm telling you, these guys get caught up in their lies and stuff, and then once they get beat, they flip their stance. Like after they get pummeled, they flip their stance. I already showed King J. I already showed Asar. I already showed all of them doing that. That's their motive. Once they get crushed, they flip their stance. So in this live, like he said, you can't show da. This is the first time that I presented the information and started going at them on Egypt. This live, they're constantly saying this stuff don't exist. There is no. Hold on, they saying there is no Amun-Ra telling them to go kill. None of that. They're saying that stuff don't exist. I got one more audio for you because, like I told you, this is before you got in it. So hold on, real quick.
Go ahead, Marcus. And then after that, I want to just Jose Francis myself.
And can you put me on a list for whoever's last?
It was.
He can go before me.
I don't know who JJ was after, but yeah.
He can go before me.
Okay. Who's next? We waiting on your side.
Yeah, just give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Take your time.
Start 7.
Hold on, my bad. Give me 1 second. I'm just
I'm gonna go to a word from our sponsors and give you 60 seconds.
These are not just speakers. These are thinkers, forged in fire. Warriors of words stepping into destiny. Welcome to the Coliseum of Arguments, where logic clashes with conviction and ideas spill like blood in the sand. 16 titans, 16 minds, one path to immortality. They come seeking truth, they fight for redemption, they burn for revenge. Featuring the intellectual elite of the Titans Debate League. Every round a new war, every word a new weapon. Every Titan ready to fall or rise in glory. This is not debate, this is combat. Step into the Coliseum of Arguments. Only the brave speak here. Are you not entertained?
So yeah, I got that audio real quick, and then listen real closely. I say, listen. I mean, not I say, Jose, listen real closely.
It's not even giving us a real primary. It's not even giving us is the real primary source at that. It's not coming from no stele. It's not coming from no hieroglyph. There's no damn such. No, there's no law relief of no Amenhotep fucking autobiographies making that up. And
So when they said we never said this stuff don't exist, and bro, they be lying. I present information, I cook them on it, and then once they get cooked, they switch their stance and stuff, act like they never said it. Same thing with King J and saying Yahweh didn't give his possession to Yahweh not in Ugaritic text. You can ask Yahweh. Yahweh was going to debate him at the same time I was going to debate Asarim Ka. King J was saying Yahweh was in the Ugaritic text as El's son. He switched his stance after he got beat on. They get beat on the stances. So, like I said, bro, you didn't want to be called the N-word. That's sadly in my vocabulary. I apologize. Like I said, I showed a lot of hostility and stuff towards you, and you weren't necessarily always going against me. So I apologize, bro. It wasn't necessary to go at you like that. And whatever you do with it, I hope you understand that it's truly like I'm really.
I appreciate that, and I'll accept that. But let me address the point that Leandre was making. They have enough recorded history to say that these people were historical, even though they don't find remains. The ancient Kemetic people wrote so much. They're definitely convinced that these were historical figures without necessarily having to have remains of everybody. Right? Because we know the ancient Kemetic people were the first to write, and they took advantage of that every chance that they got. They wrote so much. Right? Like the Bible and other books are not history books. They have some history in it, but it's not a history book. So you can't, and then sometimes when you mention historical events, you have to go through all type of drama. It's not that way in Kemet. They were very specific about what they wrote, so we know who was real, who was not real, and we know which stories were real and which stories were not real based on tone and several other things. So we don't need 10,001 remains to know that all of these people existed.
I would gladly debate Jose Francis on the nonsense that just came out of his mouth. The majority of the documents and stuff that we got from ancient Egypt are going to be religious texts, no different than the text of the Bible. The reliefs themselves are majority on temple walls. We have barely anything in the official records from ancient Egypt whatsoever, and that's according to numerous Egyptologists. There's no Egyptologist going to challenge anything I just said. The majority of the writings that you have from ancient Kemet or Egypt or whatever he wants to call it are going to be religious texts that come from temple reliefs and walls and things like that. And the majority of those are not historically valid. According to Egypt, they started no wars. Okay, according to them, they won every single war. Every single account that they have because their writings are sacrifices to the gods. And almost every one of their writings, they're not remotely historical. Then they also had damnatios there where they would go and scrap out what was there written before in order to rid themselves of some person before. You don't have any actual official records of Egypt except for at best 2 dynasties. Okay, so that is a lie. Okay, and then likewise, the same thing that he said about the biblical text is the same thing that's going to apply to Egyptian text, except for in reverse. Historians of history, the ones who write about historiography and the writing of history, philosophers of history are going to tell you, by the way, he also says some nonsense that the Egyptians were the first to write. That is also cap. That is a lie. They were not the first to write. That is a lie. He got that from nowhere. He made it up. There's no one who's going to back that up. That's a lie. Okay. So anyway, then the other part of this is that the Hebrew people started the beginning of writing history. That's not just my opinion. That's one of the historians of history, Herbert Butterfield, who says that in the biblical text that it's the first time they actually started to get a linear history, things that we know about history today. I covered all of this in my debate with Garfield with all the footnotes, citations. Please feel free to go watch it. Okay. But anyway, this is all covered. And so I don't know where he got this from, but he made it up. As an actual historian, not whatever he is, that was all cap. Majority of the stuff that you get in the Kemetic text is going to be religious writings that lack all sorts of historical veracity. That is cap. And I'll gladly debate you on it on this platform.
All right, can I ask a question?
Okay, hold on, Humble. Let me address
next, and I was at
one second, Humble and A1. Let me address the dum-dum who probably never read.
No, Jose, no. I got it, Leandre. Don't say nothing to him. First of all, Jose, do that again. I'm gonna drop you down because he's about to thrash, bro. Chill the. Now, when he go off on you, you're gonna be trying to get me to pull him off of you. No. Stop doing that. You called him a dum-dum. Have some respect, bro, because you want people to respect you.
Okay.
Now go ahead and talk.
Now
and
let me
then it's on
address.
sis, and then it's only
Now let me
and
address
then
that
Humble.
statement. If he ever looked into text corpus, he would realize they have all sorts of documents other than just religious documents. That's not true. He's never read a text corpus. He doesn't know that. They have historical documents, fictional documents, all sorts of documents. So that's foolishness. That's fallacious foolishness. And just to answer, I don't debate. So no, I will not debate you or anyone else. I don't do debates. Just so you know, since you asked the
You
question.
don't need to.
All right, it's on. It's a Queen.
Okay,
And then it's on JJ.
Then I'm after her.
Yep. It's a Queen. Are you there? Am I muted? Nope.
No, we can't.
Go ahead, JJ, until It's a Queen comes back. She's probably working.
Can y'all hear me? Loud and
Yep.
clear?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I just Jose, for instance, I just want to ask you, what kind of Kemetic scholar are you? As far as
Did you ever hear me say that?
do you deal with the Book of the Dead?
Did you ever hear me use
Brother.
say I was a Kemetic scholar or historian? Did you ever hear me say that? You never heard me say
Can
that.
you wait till I get done?
No, I'm going to answer your question. I never said that. I never
No,
said
you're
I
not
was
going to
a scholar
interrupt
or
me.
historian.
Okay, can you just,
No, I'm not.
bro? We need to send you back to the islands, bro. We need to
I'm
send
not
you
from
back
the
to the
islands,
islands, bro.
Come on, Jose.
We're
Let
gonna do
him
that.
let us play, Jose. Let him cook. Let him
Yeah,
cook.
but it's such a
You're asking
no.
that question. Go ahead, finish, and then I will answer you. Finish, then I will answer you.
Okay, I'm gonna put some metadata up on the screen. Can you read it and interpret it for us?
It depends on what you put up on the screen. I never said I was a Meduneta expert either. So I don't know where you're coming from with that.
So
You
let
can
me
put it
ask
up
you
on
this: Do you,
I mean,
can I ask you- brother? Why are you so hostile? This is a debate platform, but you gotta have some decorum, man. You're pissing off everybody in the panel.
You're trying to make it seem as if I said I was an expert.
You ignorant as hell, bro. Can you be quiet?
I never said that though.
With that little fake accent, can you just be quiet?
But can
Shut
you
up
just
your mouth.
correct Jose? Can you correct him at the end? Because
Sorry,
he's
I
going to
apologize.
probably make 3 or 4 more mistakes. And
Yeah,
he'll
where they
never get
find
to
this
the end
guy?
of his sentence, bro. Go ahead, JJ. And it's if it's his back, it's on her.
All
But if
right.
not, it's on Humble. And then
I just want. I'm trying to find somebody. Okay, look, I'm not even going to address this guy because he ignorant as all outdoors, man. Damn. I'm trying to find somebody who deal with the Kemetic doctrine, like Jabari. He thinks that they didn't believe that these deities were literal. I just wanted to ask the brother, did he believe like Jabari? He got to get all disrespectful. So I'm hopefully he can just answer that for me. Do you believe that the ancient Kemetics believed that Osiris was a real deity? Not literally, not just no principle. That's all I want to know, brother.
Can I answer the question?
Yeah, go ahead. Now it's a
There
perfect
is some scholarship that says Asar may have been a real person, that particular one. But when you read the text do describe them as actual aspects of nature. They do. As moisture, air, sun, they do. The
Okay.
text literally say that.
Okay,
So
good.
you know that they're not describing actual nature because they tell you the text.
So- Okay, so which one do you subscribe to?
I'm not a practitioner of the spiritual practice. I just respect the culture, and I'm definitely not saying I'm a historian or a scholar, or I am a Medu nature reader in that sense. I can recognize and identify some glyphs, but not everything. So it depends on what you put up. I may or may not be able to read all of it, but I'll probably recognize some of it.
All right, so okay, so I'm going to go on record and say that they believe that Osiris was a real deity, a real being, for the simple fact that they prepare what is afterlife to be with him. The verbiage in the Book of the Dead, they're praying to him. They're getting mummified. They're getting spells to get past these demons. So I just want to find somebody to debate me on it, because Jabari, him and I had a debate on this. And I'm gonna wrap it up. We had a debate on this, and he said it was just a principle. They believe in these deities. These ancient people believe in these deities, just like the Christians and the Israelites believe that Yahweh was real.
Shout out Northside, Ohio versus everybody, baby. We up here in Cleveland. Back
The
to you,
text
baby.
don't show that though, JJ. The text definitely don't show that. We know that Imhotep was a real person and was deified based on Kemetic records. We know that Amos Nefertari was a real person.
So you say,
because the text says so. But they never tell a story of any of the Necher as being actual real people.
okay,
But we know that based on
okay. See, I didn't say people. So what I'm saying,
they could most certainly
listen.
they could be ancestors who were deified, but
Listen.
we're not sure about that. But
You gotta find this guy. All right, I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say this again, sir. I'm gonna say this again. The Book of the Dead is actually praying to these different deities. These people want to be in this afterlife with Osiris. Do you agree or disagree?
they become Asar. They become him. Once they become Makaru, they can become him.
So they're
They become
okay. So you mean everybody in the afterlife is going to be? So is this afterlife real?
They believe in an afterlife, yes. Is a literal place? No. But they do have places in Kemet that are named after these places.
What?
They can find, they do have places that are named
Okay,
after
I'm gonna
these
say this
places.
again. Okay, I'm gonna say this again. So you're saying these people didn't believe that they're going to be in an afterlife with the king of the netherworld, Osiris or Osar? Is that what you're saying, that they didn't believe that?
I said it's not literal. That's what I said. It's not literal. It's
What do you mean?
symbolic. It's not
How can you
literal.
put it? Okay, go ahead, finish.
Because I
Okay.
read the text.
Let me know
We
when you're
that
done.
They did not describe it as a
How can they
literal
believe
place.
the afterlife is real? But what? I'm confused.
I said it's not
You're
literal.
right. Let me
Yeah,
get
but
it.
you told us
Not literal.
Let me get it.
Do you know what
No,
literal
let me
means?
get it. Let me get it.
Do you know what
No,
literal
don't
means?
try to, don't, Leon.
Really, you don't.
Yeah, I do. Okay, hold up, sir. So, according to the Book of the Dead, the Book of the Heavenly Cow, and all the other books, these people are trying to get into an afterlife with a being. Why do you think that these? The 0 to the first dynasty? Why do you think they were doing retainer sacrifices? They were taking people with them. These pharaohs and kings, they were kings back then, taking them with them to be with them in this afterlife, so they didn't have to work. They would take their mistresses and their noblemen and their family members with them. They believed that this afterlife was real. They believed that this Osiris was real, literally real, sir. So I'm asking you, is it just a principle, or do they believe it was literal? Yes or no?
I answered the question. I said the text tells
No, you didn't.
I did, but you weren't listening. I said the
Yeah, I was
text tells
listening.
you literally that these deities represent moisture, air, the sun, and the earth. The text tells you that, and if you read them, you would know that. The deity Geb
Oh, okay. Let me know when
literally
you're done.
is used to
Let me know when
describe earth. That is the word for earth.
Mhm.
If you read the text corpus,
Okay.
that is the word for earth.
All right.
Ra is the
Ladies
word
and gentlemen, this
Heru
Okay.
means day.
so, I'm listening to understand. Now listen to respond. So go ahead, brother. And now I'm gonna land my plane after this, and somebody else can go. Go ahead, bro. Say it again.
I
Are you
said
done?
it 3 times. I'm not gonna repeat it. So,
He didn't say nothing.
so someone else can go because I said it 3 times.
Okay.
Everybody,
So now after I get done, hold up. Let me get you. I'm gonna land my plane, ladies and gentlemen. It's unfortunate that he would get up here and give out misinformation about these ancient people. All right, they cut off heads, 0 to the first dynasty, and then it became so unhumane that they had to stop doing it. And they came up with these Shabbati dolls, and then with these Shabbati dolls, they would have a spell to go with them to get past once their heart got weighed and they went past and made it past that. Now they got to get past all this to get to Osiris to be in this afterlife with him. So he's playing the Jabari game. Oh, well, literal being's not real, and real is really literal. And no, bro. Just like the Israelites and the Christians believe that when they die, they're going to be judged by this powerful deity, whatever name you want to call it, Yahweh die. The ancient Kemetic were the most religious people on this planet. They lived to prepare for this afterlife, this literal afterlife. So then he wants to throw it out. You didn't read it. No, you didn't read the Book of the Dead. You interpret it. You're leaning on your own understanding. And when you get up here and make these claims, you're going to get challenged. But the thing is, you too scared to get in the ring and debate it. So I'm gonna leave you alone. I'm gonna land my plane right there. But A1, find me a Kemetic person who don't believe that.
Shout out Sapphire. If you Wade Park After Dark, man, what you know about that, man? If you in Cleveland, man, we got a link. I'm all about boots on the ground and putting this together. I've got some community events coming up this summer. You can definitely be a part of that. Get at me though. Back to you, gentlemen. It's a Queen. Are you back yet? Okay, I don't hear her. I don't see her coming off of mute. Humble, it's on you.
All right. So I just want to respond to JJ really fast, and then I want to ask Leandra a question. So JJ, I also take that stance. I don't believe the Commission people looked at the Netaru as literal beings. From the text, I understand that they describe forces of nature. It's also the correct title of that book is called The Book of Coming Forth by Day. And when you read it, you start to understand that the book is not preparing you for the afterlife, right? It's showing you how to live in accordance to this life. So when you get to the afterlife, you can be, as you would say, judge righteously, to move on. So that's what we dealing with. The book of Coming Forth by Day. That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with an instruction manual to teach those people and us, if we're reading it today, but to teach people how to live correctly now. So when you pass on, you see what I'm saying? You can be, it's no different than the Christianity. You gotta follow these rules, or the Hebrews, you gotta follow these rules and to get to heaven, right? I wouldn't disagree with you on that part. Did they believe in afterlife? They absolutely did, right? But the way that they worked with the Netaru was very different than how a Christian deal with Jesus and God, right? These people worship Jesus and God, right? These people worked with the Netaru, right? So they didn't just sit there and pray and do this. And no, they understood that shoe meant air and moisture and things of that nature. It's like he was saying Gab, right? They understood that Gab was the earth. They understood these things. So when they were operating, my brother Ashay just had a debate on, is there such thing as African science? And what we find when we study the Commission people was they had an understanding of agriculture. They had an understanding of building and of agriculture, construction, things of that nature, moving canals and moving water flays. They had an understanding of this, and they show their understanding of this through the Netaru. So that's the correct perception I have when you're looking at this tradition. You can't look at this tradition from a Western world view.
Okay. Let me know when you're done. I don't want to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No. I want to ask Leandre. Hey, Leandre, did you say that?
No, don't switch the subject, bro.
I'm not switching the subject. I really want to ask real fast. I don't want, because Brody, bro, I'm not going to go back and forth on him. I just want to ask him this because I just want to make sure I was clear. Hey, Leandre, did you say that it wasn't the Egyptians that was writing first? It was the Hebrew people?
So you paying people to debate in 2 weeks? Will you?
Okay. Go ahead, JJ. My bad.
Go ahead, JJ. It's on you. Maybe you lost connection for a second.
The real.
You cutting up, JJ. We can't.
Will you take that?
We can't
Okay,
hear
let me say a little bit. Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Try.
In 2 weeks, I'll debate you. According to the Book of the Dead, did the ancient Kemetics believe that these deities were real or just literal? Will you take that debate in 2 weeks?
I would debate you on if the Netaru were literal beings that walk the earth or not. In 2 weeks, I would debate you on that.
Literal beings that walk the earth.
Yes, because
he gotta get in line though. You gotta debate with
real. Hold on 1 second. Hold on.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. He gotta get in line though. He can't jump.
Yeah, he gotta get in line. Yeah.
Who gotta get in line?
But
he's debating Chasad next. They already have a topic.
I thought you meant like I had to work my way up to this guy.
No, none of that. We don't.
But really,
man. No big eyes, no little U's, man.
The reason I would say that if they were literal beings, because when you use the word real, the Netaru are very real. They're just not literal physical beings that walk the earth. Right?
No.
Rain is real.
I'm not saying. Listen,
real. The sun is real.
No. See, that's semantics. I'm asking you: did these ancient Kemetic people, according to the Book of the Dead, believe that they're going to be in the afterlife? We'll simplify it with Osiris, a real being. I'm letting you know the stance that I'm coming from. He ain't represented as no wind, no earth, wind, and fire.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Hold on, brother. So who judged them, man? So who judged them in the halls of Ma'at, sir? Who?
Asar.
Who judged the people? Who?
Asar judges the people.
So you don't even see Asar? Huh? Who?
Asar. Ashe.
Okay, so Asar, what was he? What he was just what? A principal judged him?
No, bro. Do you not understand the underworld scene, bro? Hold on, time out. See, this is the point. This is where you're again. Hold on 1 second. I got you. You can't look at these things from a Western world view when you're looking at who judged them, right? They're not looking.
Tell me how I'm supposed to look at it. Go ahead.
Okay, I got you. So when you, I don't feel like doing all that right now. But so when you look at it, right, you see my aunt represented as the scales, right? You see the dude come down there, that's a real person. Now he's in the underworld, right? This is not, they're not talking about a place that's here on earth. When you see the underworld judgment scene, that's
are you still talking?
I will concede with you. That's literally.
So what was the purpose of returning sacrifices, sir? Go ahead.
Huh?
What was the purpose of the pharaohs? Excuse me, the king, because there wasn't no pharaohs zero the first dynasty. What was the purpose of them cutting off these people's heads and taking them with them when they passed away? Go ahead.
There was no kings that did that.
Oh, what? Hey, play that what? I'm going to destroy you, young man. Because you've been listening to the
kings, pharaohs that ever did that when it comes to Kemet. I don't know which way.
Okay, how about this? Okay, so you're saying that there was no such thing as a return of sacrifice. Is that what you're telling me?
No, I'm telling you, pre-dynastic Kemet, there was no kings, right, cutting people heads off for sacrificial ritual.
Okay. All right. You in some trouble. No. Hold on. Jose Francis, you ain't no debater. You just a talker. So fall back. Nobody wants to hear you. You're too scared to get in the ring. Shut your mouth. No, shut. I'm not talking to you. Hey, could you this guy? Send him back to the islands. Shut your mouth. Shut the coconut eating lip.
Somebody got a bad echo in that mic.
Really?
No, because this bozo did. Hey, one. Let me get this humble guy. What you got a tag team? I take on both of y'all on this topic. But he's too scared to get in the ring. He already established that. So what you opening? Why you opening the fight?
Really, bro? Probably.
No, hold up, bro. I'm trying to make a debate. You have nothing to do with debates. You just a talker.
You feel that's gonna make me want to debate you?
Shut your island.
That is really gonna make me want to debate
island monkey. Shut your mouth.
Acting like a 5-year-old.
I don't want to debate you. You're in my league, bro. You haven't had one debate.
Hold on. I said something.
Don't try to have it say you. You a trouble. You a trouble.
When I say something back, and I start to
all right, let the bozo talk so I can get back to home.
Go in there. And then I have a problem. So you need to tell him to either stop it.
No, you need to be quiet, bro. You don't get in the ring. This for real debate.
Wait for a second. What did I miss?
Why you up there?
Well, what you missed is DJ asked.
They're gonna talk to me that way, and then when I say something,
hold on, one mic.
I'm about to mute you, Jose, because somebody's answering my question, and you jumped in. Go ahead, DeAndre.
So, JJ and Humble Mystic, they were discussing whether the afterlife was real, and JJ asked about retainer sacrifices of the early Egyptian kings, and about people being beheaded or killed to be buried with the kings of pharaohs. And Humble Mystic said that never happened. So JJ then said he was going to destroy it, and they challenged him to a debate. So
okay. I just wanted to make sure nobody was fighting or disrespecting nobody crazy.
So the man can call me a monkey, and that's okay, right?
Well, he certainly did call him a monkey. And told him to shut his mouth.
You didn't hear that part, though. You didn't hear that part.
You interrupted. You're not. You're not. Okay.
Yeah. Jose doesn't debate. Jose doesn't debate. We heard that.
So you didn't hear the island monkey part, though, Leandro. You didn't hear that.
I just said that he said that. What are you talking about? And I said he still told you to shut your coke in your mouth. I just said that.
All right, so all that's nice, but if I do that, you're gonna tell that.
Why is he here?
That's good and funny.
Okay, go ahead. Get it out so I can get back to you. Go ahead.
No. JJ, you have some reverb. I don't know if your audio is loud and it's coming back into the microphone.
So I want to establish my debate and get up out of here because Jose Francis or Franco, whatever his name, he's in the way. You stop the progress of it.
You know that, JJ? You're a real idiot.
Nobody was saying your boring presentation.
If you can do it, I'm going to do it too. And let's do that then. Let's just
you didn't do it.
That's going to make you feel better. It seems like that's what you want. That's what you want.
So I can get back to
you. You have the intelligence.
Oh, JJ, are you
a conversation for more than 5 minutes? So let's
set up a debate and Bozo Francis.
No, insulting me is going to actually make me want to debate you because you're intelligent. That's something intelligent.
You're not going to get a debate from me. You lost your chance. You lost your chance. I don't want to debate you. You're an idiot.
Is that what y'all are turning my channel into? An insult fest?
I don't know.
No A1 because
every day, like y'all know I don't like that.
Right, but nobody's telling him not to do that. You told me not to do it, and I stopped doing it. You're allowing him to do it. You didn't chastise.
Okay, I tell you what. Let him talk, and then I'm gonna get back to him. Go ahead, cry.
But if you don't stop him from doing it, and I do it, then you can't blame me. That's what I'm saying. You have to tell him.
Okay, are you done? So I can get back to him. Go ahead, get it out. Cry your river. Go ahead.
If you don't know how to speak to me, then don't address me.
All right. Can y'all hear me?
Because when I did, he told me not to do it.
So Humble Mystic is really trying.
If you want to talk, don't do that.
Can you put him in the back? Hey, is this a debate platform or this is somebody just up here we just talking? I don't just talk. I get in the goddamn ring. That's something that you ain't never did in your goddamn coconut eating life. I'm sick of you. There you go.
I'm sick of this. There you go. And they're gonna laugh at that's cute.
I don't like you. I don't like you. I just don't like you because you disrespectful. You just ain't
one mic. Hey, Jose, hold on. Let me and JJ get it in. I like that type of talk, JJ. Get in the ring with it, Brody. Go ahead, JJ.
Yeah. So okay. So we got to come up with a title.
Hold on 1 second.
We can do a two. Woo. We're gonna do a two-part debate. Okay. Yeah. Because I know y'all can barely hear me, so I want to set this up. So we're going to debate about the returner sacrifices, right? Is that okay? Can we establish that? Humble Mystic.
And what period? What period you talking about retainer sacrifice?
Well, the point is
you said it didn't do it.
It never
right,
happened.
Andre.
Yes, yeah, I'm saying what period?
Okay.
Well, he was telling you is that in pursuit of their afterlife goals, retainer sacrifice, they would kill people to go with them to the afterlife. You said that never happened, and so he wants to debate you on that. It doesn't matter what period. If he shows any period, it would be relevant to the topic.
Oh, you switching the debate topic? Hey, yo, he's terrible.
No, I'm not.
So you trying to switch the debate topic for me?
No, I'm not. I said a two-part debate. Listening is an art form. You trying to scamper up out of here?
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, because it could all tie into really. This all really ties into what they really believed, and see. So we're gonna, and then the second part of this debate, we're gonna get into the Book of the Dead, and I'm saying from the verbiage of the Book of the Dead, they actually believe that these deities were real. They're going to be in the afterlife with him. And Osiris is a real being, not no human being walking on earth. They believe that he was a real being in the afterlife. They believe that they're going to be with him in their afterlife. Do you agree or disagree?
Yeah. I wouldn't, based off that belief, I wouldn't disagree with you. You can't come up, brother. Well, maybe I'll go back out and come back up. On their belief system, when they go to the afterlife, as if we're calling it, right? Do the people in Kemet think that they would be with the Neteru? That was the point of the afterlife.
Yeah. So can I just say this? So and JJ, and y'all correct me if I'm, because here's what I'm hearing. It sounds like JJ is asking the question of whether or not they thought that these were like, and I'm using a big word, ontological, but whether these beings actually existed. He's not arguing whether or not they were humans or human people who walked the earth. He's saying that they believed that there were real beings that existed that they were going to go join and be with. And so part of what he said is
no. Okay, I got what you're saying, Leandre. Thank you. No, they did not believe that. No.
Okay. All right, cool. So let's set it up after you and so what would it probably be like a month from now? Because I don't know when is you and Marcus debate.
I'm back.
We actually A1. Hey Kazai, what you doing tomorrow, Kazai?
I'm back, baby. I'm back. My bad about that. Dog knocked the cord out the wall and shit. I dropped the link for you, y'all. Tomorrow we could do a face-off for y'all. So y'all
man, because I'm gonna do a face-off and we're gonna set everything up tomorrow.
But JJ, you hopping in the tournament? You hopping in that next tournament, JJ?
Well, actually, I mean, last time I hopped in the tournament and the number one contender guy you had ran, but yeah, you got a new tournament going. You know, I jump in there. But I
the finals of the one I got now. We down to the last 4 debaters. So I'm about to start getting the bracket together now.
Yeah, I'll jump in. I mean, I'm semi-retired, but you know, I guess I could do it for you, you know, to help with the ratings. You know what I'm saying? But
I'll put y'all together in the first round if you want me to do that for you. You and Humble in the first round.
For the new tournament? Okay, yeah. We can do that.
Yeah.
We can do that. Okay. So that's just
hold on real fast. A little public service announcement. I talk a lot of smack, bro. I ain't gonna disrespect you. I ain't gonna disrespect your character. Oh, but I most definitely talk that smack, my guy.
Look, bro. Look, I come from the age of the Black Jesuses and all them type of characters, bro.
Let's get it.
Get it. Beat the tough skin. Now you gotta pamper these debates. You talking about? No. You ain't telling me nothing new. I mean, that's up my alley. Trust me, that. Hey, Humble, my ad Humble be like, hey man, ladies and gentlemen, where you find this guy? It'd be something like that. That's how I do it. So let's establish this. So y'all heard him. Andre heard it. He eloquently said it better than I could say it. Kind of explain it to you. You're saying that they didn't believe that these deities were real in the afterlife. We're gonna go off the book
real
of the dead.
Beings. No, we're gonna put real beings. See, this is how y'all be trying to get brothers like Jabari and them.
Brother,
hold on one second, y'all. I saw Yara asking for the link, but he's not on my page. I think he's on JJ's page. Yara, you gotta come over to the Titans Debate League page. I dropped the link in the chat over here for you.
Okay, hold on. What do you mean, brother? Is okay. What do you mean? I ain't talking about no human being. You're trying to play a game. I said we're gonna be like with a deity called Osiris. How about we call it a deity? Would that make you happy?
But I would agree with you with that.
Oh, come on, Leandre. Tell me what's going on here. Tell me what's going on.
The issue is when you're saying real being. Are you speaking alien? Are you speaking this dimensional of a being, or are you saying a real God? If you're talking about a real being, such as like an alien or something, no, they didn't believe that. But if you're saying that they deify the Neteru, and when they go to the afterlife, right, would they be in afterlife with the Neteru? Yeah, but they're in this life with the Neteru. So it's not like the Neteru go anywhere.
So who is
That's
these?
what I'm saying. That's what you have to. Let's hold on real fast. That's what you have to freshen up on your understanding of. The Neteru are not something that they worshipped, and they interacted with the Neteru. They interacted with the elements, right, of these forces. They interacted with water. They interacted with the earth. They interacted with the sky. They interacted with the sun. They interacted with these things. So these are not.
So they're gonna be in the afterlife with the earth and the sky, y'all. See what I'm saying? This makes no sense at all. Okay,
Right.
sir. It don't make sense.
No,
so you're
the
trying
way
to play
you put it don't make
okay, I'm gonna let you land your plane, and I'm gonna get you. Go ahead.
All right. So the way you're putting it don't make sense. So I'll give you an example, right? Jehudi, one of my favorite Netras, right? Most people look at Jehudi and say Jehudi is the god of intelligence. No, Jehudi is not the god of anything. Jehudi represents intelligence itself. So if you're thinking, oh well, these people are going to die and they're going to go to the afterlife just to be with Jehudi, no, that's not how that works. Now, when they're in the afterlife, will Jehudi still be with them, just like Jehudi is here now? Yes, because Jehudi is just mean knowledge, wisdom, intelligence. That's all that is. So you're trying to make it seem like these are some gods that was worshipped on a cloud, like the Christianity joint. That's not what this is.
Okay, so like I say, he's trying to play with the title, y'all. Are you done? Because I don't want to be interrupted.
Go.
All right. So once again, we find somebody who's playing the semantic games like a Jabari. I read a lot of this book, bro. I have the book. Do you have the book? No, you answer that when it's your turn. So these people have certain prayers, a lot of prayers, and he wants to make you believe that they're praying to some element, some sky, and we're gonna be in the afterlife with the sky, and that ain't how it works, bro. Because they're being judged. It's a judgment scene, just like it's a judgment scene. The way the Israelites, the Christians, I ain't gonna say the Muslims, I don't know how they do that. They believe that they're gonna be judged. Now he wants you to believe that they're gonna be just judged by the sky, by the moon, by the stars. Are you serious? That ain't what you changing and flipping it up and making it you leaning on your own understanding. That ain't what the books say. The book of the Heavenly Cows and all these other sacred books. We need to go into the books and read up out of the books, and then we leave it to the audience and the judges to decide what did this prayer mean. That's what we need to do. So I'm going to be in the book. What are you going to be doing? Leaning on what? Go ahead.
Can I say something real quick? Because I think I could help a little bit, because it sounds like Humble wants to talk about a principle and JJ doesn't. JJ, you don't want to talk about principles, like the God is a principle or a concept or an idea, right?
It's Humble talking. If that ain't Humble talking, then nobody else need to be talking. I mean, we're just trying to set up a debate.
Yeah, I'm asking you to be clear, though. I'm trying to clarify it, because it sounded like Humble was talking about.
This is clear. I'm gonna say this. This is clear as I'm gonna get. According to the Book of the Dead, the ancient Kemetics believe that the deities, they're going to be in the afterlife with a deity. Okay. Now, how much?
Correct. I got you.
How much you need me to be? Huh?
I got you, but I think that other people are not understanding that.
Brother, if you're not going to debate, if you're not, why I don't ever need a wingman to help me set up a debate. Why do all you guys need wingmans?
Is it my turn yet? Is it my turn yet, JJ?
Debaters, man. Brother. So Humble.
Yeah, is it my turn yet, JJ?
No, I just want you. I want you to. Is that title sufficient? Yes or no?
What title? Go ahead.
Leandre,
listen. I was getting my book for you. You said what I was going to be reading from. I was getting my book for you, bro. I did it.
What title do you want to call it? Go ahead.
Are the Neteru literal beings, or are they forces of nature?
Okay, so that title sucks because we're talking about what the people believe in. I'm talking about an afterlife. What are they going to be in an afterlife with a force of nature?
That's what they. Yes.
And what force of nature would that be?
You saying what? All of the Netaru, they will be in the afterlife. With the Netaru are not. Hold on one second. The Netaru are not something that's here and not there. You're looking at that wrong. That's not how that works.
So okay, go ahead. I don't want to interrupt you. Go ahead.
So just like Yara, I'm not picking on you, brother Yara, but just like Yara believe that God is here and God is in heaven. Hold on, JJ, I got you. But just like Yara believe and Kazad, how Yara and Kazad believe that God is here and in heaven, the Commission people believe that the Netaru were here and in the afterlife.
I muted you, JJ, because you got an underwater thing going on when you're not talking. So go ahead, though. Just unmute yourself when you're ready to talk.
All right.
And if you can, try to mute yourself.
All right. You don't want to deal with him neither. Focus on 7,000. Because I'm trying to. Okay, bro. So did the Kemetic believe in a heaven and a lake of fire? Yes or no?
Yes, they believed in the afterlife and underworld. And underworld.
Hey, what was the purpose of that?
Because they didn't believe that life ceased after you was ended this physical life. They understood life after death.
So did they have to work in this afterlife?
Do they work in the afterlife? Not that I know of, no.
Okay. See what I'm saying? So this man, you're not ready, man. I'm telling you. And it's the same thing that happened to Jabari. Okay, brother. So why you can't take the listen? I'm gonna be real quick. Why you can't take the title? Did the ancient Kemetics believe that they would be with a Sar in the afterlife? Is that easy enough for you?
Because I would agree with you with that. I would agree with you about that.
Okay, but now we had two different definitions. You're saying they're going to be in the afterlife with some kind of wind, earth, wind, and fire. I'm saying that they believe they're going to be.
You know what a star is? Hold on, brother. Do you know who
I'm
a
saying they're
star
going to be in. I talk like they're going to be in the afterlife with this deity who's in charge of this afterlife. You not believing that? Yes or no?
So no, that's not what a sar is. The all-seeing, which emanates right from the which we today in English call the void. So a star is all-seeing, and so when they go to or the overseer, so when they go to the afterlife, a star will still be the overseer. Like I don't understand. You're trying to put it into a. Does it have a form? Is it shapeful? Does it have a physical texture? No, that's not how these people looked at these netures.
Yo, A1, can we say something?
Yeah, y'all can all jump in. Y'all ain't gotta wait on me.
We've been just I ain't.
But JJ, yo audio be so horrible. Like we gotta fix this because it be ruining the quality of like long blocks of content.
Right.
An hour or two.
I'm in the mountains. And it's a storm. So, but this guy, look, bro, you just
I'm big on quality. You see how much.
Can I cook before you, Kassar, right quick, brother?
Go ahead. You got it's on Kassar, Omar. I don't want to skip him.
Shalom,
I don't get a debate.
You do get a debate. This ain't the face off though. We don't gotta iron it all out right now. You got them in your scope.
Okay, well, face it off tomorrow then. Whatever you want to face. I'm gonna go, but let me know when the face off because all you're gonna do is the same thing in the face off. So what's the difference? Set the title right now.
Yeah,
set the title right. We don't need no
right now, JJ. But y'all lined up, and we not gonna let it pass by. I promise. I'm actually making a flyer tomorrow. Everything in order.
Yeah, well, you're right. It's probably better for a face off that way. Jose Francis ain't. Francis ain't getting in the way. I'm out. Okay. Just holler at me.
I appreciate you tonight, man. Have a good night.
No, don't leave, JJ. Don't leave.
No, that audio is horrible. Let JJ go fix his audio. I don't need that water sound in my ear. I got these headphones on. It's driving me crazy for real.
This Omar, y'all mind if I cook right quick?
It's on Shasai, then it's on you. Shasai, go ahead.
All right, I'll mute out. Shalom, Kassar. Shalom
brother. To you too, Omar. How you doing today?
All right, I'm doing good. I'm gonna let you cook. Go ahead, bruv.
Shalom, Mark. Shalom. Yeah, bro. I just wanted to get in here real quick because honestly, this was getting they was like chasing each other in a circle, like it was getting repetitive. Like just y'all set that up between y'all two later on. Like it was y'all was chasing each other in a circle. It wasn't going nowhere. So real quick, I wanted to because I'm finna get up out of here, man. Peace to everyone that's on the panel. I see you, big brother Elder Yara.
Hey, shalom, Mark.
I see y'all. So I wanted to finish playing this audio real quick from earlier, where they got cut up real bad. I want to play this real quick.
Let's go to the primary. No data.
So I want y'all to hear it first. Y'all heard King J said, "Show the primary." That was King J that said that. Then you got another guy yelling in the background. And Humble on the panel too. Just to let y'all know, Humble was on the panel too. So let me finish playing this.
Him expanding the conquering people on the Karnak temple. What? Okay. What? What? Oh, Ramesses. Look at Ramesses. Look, Ramesses.
So it honestly, man, these guys was getting beat so bad. His own teammate jumped on and agreed with me. Like he want to challenge me to a debate. Like I don't think he know who he dealing with. So I wanted to put this out there, and I'm mad. JJ Mike was messed up because I wanted to ask him something. Did not when JJ first came out going against the Most High God of the Bible, was not Asaram Ka and King J all three of them saying that Yahweh was in the Ugaritic text as a son of El?
Facts.
Like we all was literally in the comments. Literally, you was finna debate King J on it. You told him I would debate you anywhere, anytime. I'm mad. Sinetta and them took down the video. But guess what? King J got on the panel and said the other day. I never said that. I never said how it was in you. These dudes get beat up bad and they switch their stance. They run over here, act like they ain't been getting beat up. Yes, Humble. I'm
all
taking
day.
Since you think you actually can step into the
Shots
ring
fired.
and get this, you want to step in the ring, get this work. You know something about the Hebrew culture and the Israelite Bible. I'm telling you, I'm finna beat you up. You ran over here like you ain't been getting cooked to get on the big stage. So. Hey man, I don't know if y'all heard me. I do work tomorrow. I didn't know if y'all heard me say that. I work.
Oh
tomorrow.
no, I ain't hear you.
Yeah, so y'all just shoot me a text, man. I'm off. I got some off days this week, so we
all right. You got A1 number?
Yeah.
You got
okay,
my phone number? Yeah, you do. Did you shoot me that picture?
I don't think so. No,
that's the only thing I'm missing because I usually make the graphics immediately. Like I don't be procrastinating. I like getting ahead. Actually, I be having stuff made and put to the side. So. If you could shoot that to me, I appreciate it.
I got you.
And then a description of what you want me to make you look like, unless you just want to leave it up to me.
Just don't make me no goofy, man. That's all.
No, never that. I'm gonna try to add a Hebrew element to it. Like I just put GD and Capone together. Let me pull up his picture real quick. Share screen. Oh shit! I gotta pull up the image. Excuse my language, but yeah, go ahead. Back to you, gentlemen.
That's all I wanted to say. Hey, these brothers be going over here just because they think the other crowd ain't get beat up, and they ain't see him get beat up. That he didn't get beat up. Nah, bro, you got beat up every time you step to me. You got beat up. You gonna step to me again. You gonna get beat up, and then we gonna send you back over here whining and crying again. You know, acting like it didn't happen, and you know.
You see GD and Capone, Humble.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, I got him in the Hebrew superhero, man.
Hey, that's crazy work.
Hey, listen, sound good. All of that sound good, Kazad, until we get in that ring, bro. All that sound good until we get in that ring. And please don't forget what the time. Listen, I'm begging you, don't bring the same slides. But if you want to bring the same slides for this debate, you can do that. You know, far as listen, far as Kazad cooking it, my man Kazad do be holding the stand on his own square, right? But something I listen, this debate, I'm gonna have to show Kazad, man, there's levels to this, and he just simply not on my level. You feel me?
Wow.
You're right. It is levels to this, and I'm not. I'm above you. You're right. You're right. You're right. Man, I'm finna get out of here. I do gotta get up. I gotta be at work at 6 a.m, so I'm finna get up out of here, man. Peace to y'all.
Yes, sir.
All right, Ken, be safe, Brody.
Shalom, fam. Shalom.
Easy, Qatar. Shalom, brother. Yeah, though. So yeah. So I didn't want old biscuit head ass JJ to leave because that nigga get on my nerve. But you know what? You know what? I gotta give honor when honor due, because JJ said something. And here's the thing here: if that dude take that debate about this retainer garbage with them stinking ass comedic niggas, JJ was right. Because in order for it to be a retainer sacrifice, who's the retainer? There has to be a pharaoh sitting on the throne. So if there's no pharaoh sitting on the throne with all that comedic garbage, you can't worship properly. So all these niggas that's all in this comedic garbage, if it ain't no pharaoh on no throne, you just making that shit up as you go along. So and like I said, and that's why I hate to agree with old biscuit head, but he was right. JJ was JJ was 100% correct.
Hey,
You can't have. Yo, that's crazy work. GD and Capone. I'm from Chicago. I ain't gonna even ask that brother what that mean, but shalom, brother.
I made sure
I used to be
blue, man.
Y'all know. Y'all Chicago, brother, too. Yeah, I know that's crazy work. That just said GD
That's
and
crazy
Capone.
work.
Oh my god. I used to be one of the guys. I used to be one of the guys back in my day. You know, I had to throw that away though. And that hurts when I have to agree with old biscuit head ass JJ, man. Because that hurts.
The thing is though, all your old jewelry you can still wear. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what though? See, here's my thing. I'm an honest brother. Even if I dislike a brother, if a nigga bringing out that truth and bringing out that information and he's correct, you know what? I'm gonna have to get a nigga his flowers and salute that nigga. I'm gonna tell you like this. JJ take that debate, it's gonna go one round and JJ is gonna win. Y'all knows it too. Humble. Everybody knows when it comes to the Kemetic text, that thing that they was talking about. In order to worship it correctly, there has to be a pharaoh on the throne.
First,
there's no
hold on, Omar. Hold on. First off,
this ain't to you though.
Speaking,
no, humble,
you
brother.
Speaking all out
This
of
wasn't
facts.
to you.
There was no.
I was talking to that nigga.
There was no
that nigga Jose Francis.
This is why you're wrong. Hold on, Omar. This is why you're wrong. Number one, the retainer sacrifice was only practiced in the first dynasty. No, it didn't go past the first dynasty. That's number one. Number two, there was no pharaoh. There was no pharaohs when they were doing this because it was taking place on pre-dynastic. So there was no pharaohs doing this. Now, when they was establishing Ma'at and Kemet, they no longer used this sacrifice because it went against Ma'at.
I got a question for you, humble. I got a question, and y'all can validate for me. Y'all can validate for me. Humble.
Yeah.
Can a stranger just walk into the halls of Kemet, grab those ancient texts, and be a priest and practice and be a retainer?
No.
Or what?
Mm-hmm.
No.
That's a yes. Say that. Oh, Yara, did you hear that? Say it again,
a person can't just go into
what specific stock you have to be? You just can't be an ordinary Kemetic citizen. You have to be of a priestly stock.
No, you don't have to be of a priestly stock either. You have for you to be a priest. Hold on 1 second. For you to be a priest, you must first be initiated. And for you to first be initiated, you must first be trust. You must first be. What
are the qualifications? What are the qualifications to be initiated?
First, you have to prove that you can retain silence. Second, you have to prove that you can remain faithful to your practices. Third, you must show that you are ever developing, meaning that you're continuous learning. These are the things. These are some of the things.
Can you be an outsider of non-Kemetic stock? Not only that, can you be a regular Kemetic citizen and still walk into the halls and just say, "Oh, I want to be a priest."
So again, you can't just walk into the halls and say, "I want to be a priest." No, but are there hold on one second,
qualifications?
Omar. Yeah, I see how you be trying to listen, Omar. That's not going to hold on one second. So there are
Salaki, brother, Salaki, my bad. Go ahead.
There are priests who are not of the Kemetic stock. Yes, there are. Akhenaten had a priest who was not of. He had a Semite priest.
What was his name?
Priest. I apologize.
What was his name? What was his name?
What was his name? Hold on. Let me go back and get that for you. Now I got all this in my files and stuff like that.
Omar, I see you,
Your
bro.
boy is dangerous. Your boy is dangerous.
I see you, bro.
Yeah, Yara know.
I see you.
But hold on. Yara. I got something for him. But this.
Let me see where the guy right. Let me pass it.
Let me cook right quick. I just want to say something right quick because I did wait, and then I'm gonna let my elder cook because my elder he gonna. But I don't agree to 100%. Yara Chicago brother like me, Hebrew brother. But I don't agree with him. But we can come together and cook these niggas though. So
no doubt.
This ain't for you, humble. This is for that nigga. What was that nigga name? Jose. What? That nigga ran when I came on. Jose Francis. Yeah, that nigga ran. Yeah, that nigga ran because the last time I had my company over here, we was down in my basement. We was playing pool and we was shooting darts. And then I had to go. All my guys was calling me, "Oh, come down, come down." And they was like, "Yeah, Omar ran." So this is for Jose Francis. And then this is the piggyback off of what JJ said, because JJ mentioned it, but he didn't have a source. Let's get it. This is for them niggas for them Kemetic niggas wearing a penis around their neck. This is the ancient Kemetic. This is for ancient Kemetic coffin text recitation from the east walls of Pepi. Spell 635. Oh my God, this is finna be nasty work. Ray has no power over me, and it is I who taketh away his breath. I violated his hinder parts. Nasty work. Oh, I got another one. Antechamber east wall. Hold on. No. Antechamber east wall. Recitation. 396. Horus groaned because the eye of his body, when he has eaten and swallowed it. Seth rasped because of his testicles. Horus transported semen into Horus's anus.
That's not this guy terrible. Hey yo, you gotta source that up. Oh my, hey, bro, crazy.
He giving you the cantation. Did you hear him?
This guy crazy.
He giving you the source. Wait, hold on, both of y'all. I want to ask somebody a question. Wait, which part of that what he said was the first time that you've heard any of that? I'm just curious.
All of that he's
that's the first time you've heard any of that.
Yara.
Hey, bro, you're not.
I drug this nigga into deep water, Yara. And he can't handle it.
Yeah.
He can't handle it.
Omar, I've seen that. Omar, share that source in the back chat.
Coffin text.
Hey, if you
coffin text.
Recitation.
This is from the east walls of Pepi. This is spell 635. Ray has no power over me, and it is I who taketh away his breath. I violated his hinder parts. This is the next one. This is antechamber, east wall, recitation. This is 396. Horus groaned because the eye of his body, when I have eaten and swallowed it. Seth rasped because of his testicles. Horus transported semen into Horus's anus. That's antechamber, east wall, Pepi. Recitation 396. There go your fourth. Hold on. And then my first one, still from the east walls of Pepi, spelled 635. I'm nasty with this work. Let me tell you, any nigga that follow this Kemetic garbage, nigga, I will cook you. Hold on. I got 400. I got 400 more spells that I can read.
Man,
You
bro.
don't want me to read those. It is disgusting. It's disgusting. Cook. Yara, you got the floor, Elder. Cook him, Yara.
Hey,
Embarrassed.
Shalom.
I'm a mute
Hey.
out.
Highlight from the comments. He said you're not ready.
Hey, hey, Humble's a cool cat, bro.
I rock with him.
But I want to say this, bro. If that's the first time you've heard that, you're not ready, bro. You're not ready.
Get out of here.
If listen, I'm gonna say it again, bro, and I'm being sincere with you, bro. If that's the first time you've heard that, you're not ready. Because what you've been giving us, bro.
Shalom to Marcus, my brother Kasai.
He not gonna show me. Listen, hold on 1 second, Yara. Number one, he not gonna drop them sources that he reading from.
He just did. He just did.
The east wall of Pepe.
No, bro, that's a citation. That's a recitation. He just dropped it.
Ain't no recitation. Put
that's a spell. 635.
Yo, humble. Don't be mad, humble.
Bro.
I'm not mad.
Humble, why you mad, brother?
Hold on, I'm not
Don't
mad.
be mad at me.
Hold on 1 second.
Humble. That wasn't even for you. Hold on. That wasn't even for you, humble. That was for that nigga. That was for that nigga Jose.
That was Jose Francis.
Yeah, that was for that nigga. That was for that nigga. That was for that nigga.
Right.
Fuck out of here, man. I'm nasty with this one.
1 second, y'all. I'm not taking no shots from what Omar is bringing out.
No, yeah.
I want to know where to go look and read this at.
Right, that's what I'm saying. He just gave you that.
Right,
nigga. I said it 3 times in a row.
Right, he's saying he getting that from the east. I need to know like.
Maybe he didn't hear you. Maybe he didn't hear you.
Go type up the east wall chamber of Pepe.
No, maybe he didn't hear you, bro. Maybe he didn't hear you.
That's what I'm saying. Like he dropped the source.
Because I know I heard you say
It's ancient Kemetic coffin text. It's recitation from the east walls of Pepe, spell 635 and it's spell 396. Hold on. And they even got an even nastier one. Spell 365. I ain't even say that one because it's too disgusting to say. If I say that spell, they'll probably take Titan channel down. So I ain't gonna even say that.
Yeah, you already said they was wearing phalluses around their neck, but you used the P word.
Yeah,
hey, listen,
niggas wearing penises around their neck. Man, get out of here.
Listen, man. This is what we know, bro. And this is why what Omar's saying. I be saying this to Jose Francis all the time. That's cook who need to be cooking. That's Jose Francis, right? I agree with you. Because I be trying to tell this dude, like, if you study what the people said, right? They'll tell you that they did have retainer sacrifices past the first dynastic period. They'll tell you that. We can show. Listen, here's the thing, and this I don't want to get into JJ debate, but the purpose of a priesthood was because these people believed that these deities were not just principles. They were not just acts of nature. They believed that these deities were real. And I've been holding this one, but I'm going to throw this out here for y'all. One of the greatest Afrocentric scholars of our time, John Henry Clarke. John Henry Clarke states, and I quote, that Asar was a real person. This is what John Henry Clarke says, not a principle.
Yara, cook, Yara. Go ahead, get him. Cook, Yara.
Not a principle, not an actor, not a force of nature, not an idea, but that he was a very real person and that he was part of a civil war between that occurred in the Napata Valley region or among the Nubian people, and that in this civil war he departs and he moves to a new area. They expel him out into a new area. This is where they claim that this king, this first king he calls Asar, establishes what you know is ancient Kemet today, right? But John Henry Clark says this. I actually have the video of him saying it out of his mouth. He's not saying, oh, this is an act of nature. He said Asar was a real person. So this is what he said, and that this is what they believed. We know that this is what they believed because here's what I'm going to say too. This is what a lot of people don't really understand. They talk about Ma'at this and Ma'at that and Ma'at this and Ma'at that. The laws of Ma'at aren't even codified until circa 735, 740 BCE. There is no, I'm going to say it to you again. The laws of Ma'at are not even codified until 735 BCE, circa 735 BCE.
So when
you know what that means?
What you're saying is they're not put into a codex.
They're not put into a codex exactly until 735 BCE. But you know what was in a codex before 735 BCE? The Torah.
I'm gonna get you.
So So this is what I'm trying to tell people. Like a lot of what y'all be trying to regurgitate to us is New Age Kemetic science.
So
all of that 7 pillars of Ma'at and all that. You're not gonna show me that in any coffin text, arterial text, on the walls. You're not gonna show us that in a codified manner. It did not exist.
Humble, before you go, I want to ask Yara to expound even more because Yara hit the nail on the head. Here's the thing. It can't be codified because when one pharaoh die, the next pharaoh could come in there, take all that shit up off the wall and change that shit up. And that's why it can't be codified.
Well,
hold on. And we know that they actually did that.
Hold on. I wanted Yara to expound.
Yeah, we know that they did that.
Go ahead,
y'all. Gotta and y'all gonna have to correct me, but I know I know it was during the Ramesses period. It was one of the during the Ramesses period. There was an uprising of the people because the pharaoh wasn't paying them for their labor, and he wasn't upholding to them what they thought was Ma'at, right? Because what he was
that was
Akhenaten. But no, that was not Akhenaten. That was a rant. No, it wasn't Akhenaten.
It wasn't Akhenaten.
It wasn't
changed the
Akhenaten.
deities up. Go ahead,
Yes.
Yara.
He was switching up the deities. It wasn't Akhenaten. What he was saying was, because I am Pharaoh and I am the keeper of Ma'at, I have the right to set what Ma'at is. And what he basically said was, I can take your wife, and that's Ma'at.
Exactly.
What? Where y'all be getting? Hold on.
Hey, bro, hold on, bro. Listen, because hold on, bro. Listen, hold on, bro. Because y'all study Kemetic science, y'all don't study Kemetic history.
It hurts.
Y'all don't study Kemetic history. Y'all study Kemetic science.
Hold on. It ain't even
and
about
that's different.
Exactly.
Hold on. It's not even about studying Kemetic history or studying Kemetic science, right? My thing is, when you go into this culture, right? Even when you go into the historical context,
GD and Capone was right. It was Ramsey, I think, the second. But go
yes,
ahead.
I believe he is absolutely correct. It was Ramses the second.
Yeah.
I knew it was one of the Ramses. I just didn't want to say him, but I appreciate it.
I'm gonna mute out. Go ahead, Salaki, humble Salaki.
John Henry Clark never said Asar was a real king.
Hey, bro, stop right there. You just said that. Hold on, bro. You just said that without even studying the information.
I did not just say that without studying the information. Hold on,
Yes,
hold on.
she
Let me get it
did.
in. I'm gonna talk to you. Hold on, let me get it in.
Don't make
So
me share my
one
screen
Julius
on you, bro. I don't want to
Let him go,
embarrass you
Yara.
because we was
Yara,
taking
Yara,
shots at
Yara, Yara,
Jose.
Yara. Yara,
No.
let him go.
No,
Let him go. Let him go.
we
He's dead.
good.
They dead in the water. Let him go, Yara. They
I'm
dead
not
in the
dead in
water.
the water,
Let him
bro.
go.
Dang. See, y'all made me y'all made me forget. Y'all made me forget. All right, so he wasn't the real
That boy
king.
jammed up.
Pharaohs. What? Dang, what was he saying, bro? What was Yara just saying, bro? Y'all made me miss my train of thought, man.
Ramses II was the one that changed
Hey,
the
humble.
law.
Hey,
We was
humble.
talking
Hey,
about
humble.
Ramses
Hey,
II,
humble.
the one
Hey,
that
humble.
changed the law about my eye.
Hey.
and
Right
other,
quick.
Okay. Hold on 1 second, Omar.
I saw you Google. I saw you googling them spells. You
No, that was
don't want to
early.
say shit about
I was looking for the spells early. I couldn't. That's why I was trying to ask you to drop it in the back chat. But
go ahead,
so
brother.
when we talking about my eye, that's what I wanted to talk about. So my eye, bro, is in archaeology that they had my eye way before, right? It got into the Middle Kingdom, way before it was codified into the Middle Kingdom. In fact, Imhotep, right, and Amenhotep, both have maxims that, and only Amenhotep is the maxim in the Book of Proverbs. So this is where I be trying to understand, man, like how y'all be banging on the Bible and then all y'all Bible got the Commission knowledge in it. But my thing is this though. In those maxims, what it shows is they already had the concept of how to function in my eye. That was one of the vizier's job when he passed down the job to his son. This is how you operate in my eye. This is how you operate in society.
Was Imhotep a priest or a pharaoh?
Imhotep was a vizier.
So what was Imhotep? What was Imhotep's specific job? What was his job?
He had many jobs. He was the world's first polymath.
Man, y'all making that up, bro. Y'all gotta stop romantic.
So who
That's made up, man. That's made up, man.
That's not true,
That's made
bro.
up.
That's not
surgery
true,
before
bro.
Imhotep?
That's not true, bro. That's not true.
It's not true.
Who was the world's first surgeon?
What we had, listen,
man.
it's not Imhotep. It's not. Hold on, bro.
It's not Imhotep. It's not Imhotep.
Now listen. Hold on. I'm gonna show y'all something real quick. I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm gonna show y'all something. Y'all did this. Y'all was doing a show earlier, right? Y'all was talking about Lucy, right? What time frame? What's the chronology that you date Lucy?
Lucy was dated back to what? 1 point or 2.3 or 2.7 million years.
Right. Now watch this, right? Now watch this. So you mean it? So now I heard somebody on this panel say that that Lucy and the culture that she came from, because she had broken bones or different things like that they were practicing medicine 1.12 million years ago. Somebody said that on this panel. I'm not gonna say the name. So you mean it?
Go ahead.
So y'all are postulating that Lucy in one point in the culture that y'all claim she came from in 1.2 million years ago, up until the time of Imhotep, that there was no medical advancements between that and then, that up until in time of Imhotep, that was the first surgery. Y'all only taking it because of what y'all find on the Rhine papyrus. Other than that, there is no physical evidence that he performed any first surgeries or performed brain surgery. He was the first person to ever do it. Y'all making that up. There is
So watch this.
There's no papyrus that says that.
Person who even advised when they started mummification, who was the first person to advise them to take the brain out the nose?
Okay, so let me help you with that. Right? Give me a chronology for Imhotep.
Hold on, real quick before you do that. It's a common misconception due to modern research, that they scrape the brain out through the nose.
I appreciate you that, brother.
You said it's a myth. So how did they get the brain out?
Crazy work.
How they got the brain out?
Yeah, but it's a misconception. But I want to say this.
No, ain't no misconception. How they get the brain out?
Yeah, it is a misconception because it was a misunderstanding as it relates to the glyphs.
Not through the nose. Not through the nose.
How did they get the brain out?
So what's going on?
He cut the nigga head open and fucking removed it.
Get out of here.
Not through the nose.
Yo, they terrible, bro. They terrible.
Right. Well, I mean,
y'all getting cooked. Salaki, brother. My bad for interrupting, Salaki.
Oh, y'all good.
Yeah, y'all good. Because I'm the one interrupted right now. So this is just my sidebar. I'm just going to let you know there's been recent studies on mummies as it relates to some of the tools, and if there's any evidence of, say, brain fragments on some of these tools, especially when the long-standing perspective was, yes, exactly as you articulated, Mystic, they would scrape the brain out through the nose. But modern science has put a lot of doubt onto that idea because the evidence doesn't support that. There's little evidence to support brains were scraped through the nose per the extent evidence, not only in the mummies, but also as it relates to some of these tools. They're not finding brain fragments on these tools, and they're not finding brain traces of passing through as it relates to the nose canal. So those are just two major problems as it relates to that idea. And yes, I understand that's been a widely held perspective. It's just becoming uprooted using modern scientific and archaeological assessments of mummies.
All right.
Yeah,
so hold on 1 second. Let me respond to that.
Yo, humble.
Hold on,
yo,
Omar,
humble,
let me
nigga.
respond to that, bro.
Nah, nigga.
Now he don't want me to respond. You see how they be getting jumpy, bro? They can't listen.
Nigga, you smoking weed, nigga. You smoking weed, ain't you, nigga? You smoking weed, ain't you, nigga? Yeah, nigga. I saw you hit that J, nigga. I saw you hit that J.
Oh yeah,
nigga.
listen. You know I be having my dicks with Mary Jane, my guy.
Put that shit down. Put that shit. Hold on. Hold on. I'm not gonna even. Yeah, I saw you, nigga. Yeah, I saw you hit that big old fat J, nigga. Put that shit down, nigga. Your motherfucking brain fried, nigga. But no, I ain't
listen, I'm ready.
I ain't gonna even entertain 1.2 million years. So let's entertain this nigga RBW88 4,000 years. Yo, humble. 3 weeks ago on Tuesday, what did you have to eat? What did you eat? What did you have for dinner, nigga? 3 weeks ago on Tuesday. No, nigga, nigga. Hit that J, nigga. Hit that J. Think
Hold on, y'all. My niece walking around. I had to make sure she ain't falling on no steps.
Oh, Salaki. My bad.
Brody. I'm here. Go ahead. Let's get to it.
3 weeks ago on Tuesday, what did you have to eat?
3 weeks ago on Tuesday?
Yeah.
My wife?
Yeah. I love y'all Baltimore niggas. Tuesday. I love my Baltimore brothers.
I knew he was gonna have an answer.
Look, y'all see where I'm going? He can't remember. But guess what? These niggas want to talk about 1.2 million years ago, 4,000 years ago. Get the fuck out of here. That shit is, listen. It's an educated guess, and that's all it is.
Yeah,
it's hold on. I give the props to it. It's a well-educated guess. And that's all it is.
He said a well-educated guess.
Yeah, it's a well-educated guess. A nigga can't wrap his head around fucking 4,000 years. Let alone 1.2. Go ahead, Yara.
No, that's facts. I would agree. That guess they got for Lucy is a well-educated guess.
So So
No,
my
hold on, bro. How we get back to Yara, bro? Y'all
yeah, because
cheating, bro. Y'all
my
cheating, bro.
point because my point to your question on
on
mummification being formed or first performed in ancient Kemet is
Right.
also false, because we know that I believe circa maybe 9,000 BCE, that would be right around the time of the Natufians, but even not the Natufians themselves, I'm saying, but around that time frame, that you would have seen the Natufians in their migration from Africa into Levant, or Levant into Africa. Some argue on that for as black migration and migration, but we know that they were practicing mummification in the Ugandan region. And I'm not saying it was the Natufians, but I'm saying in the Ugandan region they were practicing
Yeah.
mummification.
Yeah.
So to say that in ancient Kemet, that by the time you get to Imhotep at 2600 BCE,
Mm-hmm.
how's he how can you say he is the creator of that? Like that, we can't do this anymore, right? So this romanticizing of ancient Kemet, I do the same thing when it comes to ancient Israel, even though I tell you I'm an Israelite. I don't romanticize it, right? But I also don't romanticize ancient Kemet at all, because if you want to, if there's anything else to be said about it, um it was a melting pot, right? Where or where people came because of the Nile River, right? Because people
Right.
can find substance there. You can live. People always migrated towards bodies of water, right? So
Fertile
you
ground.
had
Yeah.
so you had people traveling up and
Famine and
down from
drought.
various different
Famine,
cultures. So
famine and drought.
yeah,
Right. Famine
absolutely.
and drought. Right.
Yep, absolutely. So you had this romanticizing of ancient Kemet, like the people of, like, if you read the ulterior, like these ulterior texts, these coffin texts, and different things like that, that we still have, all of these practices that we have, they still can't tell us, and neither one of them tell us, from Eunice text to Pepe to whomever you talk about. They still can't tell you or show you how they actually built those mirrors or pyramids. They can't tell you, because it wasn't their culture. They can't tell you how those mirrors were built. They just can't.
The myrrh of Doja.
That, see, it's not, but see, Doja
Yara is
is not
correct.
a
They
mirror. It's not
outsource.
a mirror.
They
It's a
outsource.
step. It's a mastaba. It's a mastaba, which relatively reflects more of what you would find in Mesopotamia than you would find in of the mirrors in ancient Kemet. So it's not the same though, and actually, they'll tell you
You talking
that the
about the step
mastaba.
pyramid in Doja?
Yeah, no, well, I
The step
wasn't, but
pyramid in Doja.
but the step pyramid is
A
a
mustaba,
you mean this
a mustaba
Joseph's?
is a step. It's a step building technique to where
Yes.
Right.
you step it up,
Wait.
you
Doja
step it
have
up,
the step
you step it
pyramid
up,
or the
and you
bent
keep
pyramid?
building, and then you remove it.
That's correct, but it's
Salaki though.
actually in Saqqara. The
These
pharaoh
are
was
Saqqara.
Joseph, but it was
Yeah.
actually in Saqqara, right? So, and there's a number of things about that when you talk about the archaeologists and the epigraphists and the linguistics and the people that actually went into that mastaba in Saqqara. I talk about this all the time. Um, they talk about the serpentine spells that were written on the walls in that area, and in that mastaba, right? They talk about the serpentine spells. Why is that important? Because even though it's written using Egyptian hieroglyphics, it's not in the actual language of the people of ancient Kemet, right? It's in a more it's a more Canaanite um, dialect or language that is used, right? When they're actually reading how those hieroglyphs are arranged, right? It's the same thing you see with some people call it Paleo Hebrew or whatever. It's the same way, right? So we know that the people that were building these mastabas aren't the same people that were building these pyramids or these mirrors. It's not the same people, but nobody knows, right? So when you talk about these things coming out of ancient Kemet, there's very few, I'm going to say it again, very few innovative techniques that we're now understanding never came out of ancient Kemet. They came from some other culture. It may have been practiced in those areas because people were traveling from these different areas, from different cultures, going towards bodies of water, right? For whatever reasons, right? So it's like this romanticizing of ancient Kemet has to stop. There's really no basis to it. All of this teaching about the laws of Mayat and reciprocity and all that, that's not codified. You're not going to find me one tomb where on the walls or one papyrus where it lists these things all together. It doesn't exist. It never existed.
You
When
breaking
you
up,
see
bro.
these guys start talking about that, you'll see them talk about certain things, but it's not in a codified manner, and you don't get that until circa 735 to 100 BCE after the founding of Rome.
Yeah, where was the laws of my yacht where these niggas was having sexual relations with their mother and with their sister? Where was the laws of my yacht then?
Their mother? Who has sex
Out the
with their
door.
mother? See, that's what I be saying. Hold up. It's my turn. Hold up.
Yara.
It's my turn.
Yara.
Hold up.
Bring
No,
it out,
you
Yara.
can't keep making
Bring it out,
statements
Yara.
and keep running the Yara to keep helping you, bro. You terrible, Omar.
The nigga had a retarded foot and a cleft mouth for a reason. It was incest. You can do that. You listen. In Kemetic, I'm not saying regular civilians. I'm talking about the Kemetic royal family. If the nigga had a wife and couldn't bore a son, guess what he would do? He asleep with his mother, asleep with his sister. It's absolutely disgusting. That's proven. That's proven. That's proven. Oh my God, Yara. Where Yara go? Where Yara go?
Look, you see him
Where
calling
Yara
me
go?
like, yeah, Yara gone now. I'm asking you, where is that? You ain't got Yara to back you up. I'm asking you, where is that?
I'm on my phone. I only got certain of my notes. I can prove that. I can prove that, humble. I can prove that, humble. I can prove that, humble.
Hold on one second.
Incest. Hold on. Incest through genealogy and our land. Because I saw the other brother Sadiq Ra and cut him up, barbarian. And I know those brothers didn't get a chance to cook. So I'm gonna mute out and let those brothers cook. And I'm just gonna listen in. Salaki.
Oh, he muted. So let me hold on one second. I want to address the brother because that said that them taking the brain through the nose was debunked, right? I hate not trying to share stuff. It'd be too much, so I'm gonna just read it. It say the ancient embers of did remove. It say the ancient Kemetians did remove the brain through the nose, but the exact method was refined by modern research. It was not debunked, as the guy was trying to say. No, it was debunked. They ain't take it through the nose. It said it was clarified. They didn't pull out solid chunks. They liquefied the brain and drained it. Right? It said, how do we know they did this through the nose? Ancient eyewitness testimony, Herodotus, 5th century BCE. Herodotus directly described the procedure, right? This comes from a writing of Herodotus. They drew out parts of the brain through the nostril with iron hooks. This is the earliest witness descriptions of the Egyptians' excavations, archaeological evidence, and it's a embalming tools have been found that match the description. The ethema bone, bone behind the nose is often punctured. So mind y'all, this guy said that, oh well, that's a huge
mistake. Herodotus, hold on. At that time, Herodotus was never in Kemet around that time.
Get out of
Impossible.
here, bro.
Impossible.
Hey, yo, he
Impossible.
terrible.
Impossible. Impossible. You cited Herodotus.
This guy's terrible. The father of medicine.
Source.
The father who Western is called.
Pull it.
The people who
dare you.
Western is called the father of medicine.
I dare you. I dare you to pull up when Herodotus existed into the time that you said that Herodotus witnessed this surgery go down. In the halls of Kemet.
Bet. Got you. Got you.
Yo,
you know I
you just said Herodotus was there and he witnessed it. Prove that.
Hey, humble, if you don't mind, could you look in the chat and click on what I shared? Because what I shared gives a lot more context on what I actually stated.
Go ahead, brother. My bad. My bad to the other brother.
No, you fine. So there's at least 5 pharaohs that have been mummified with their brains intact. At least 5 of them. So it wasn't a univocal action, and the practice seems to have ramped up after the Ptolemaic era. So early on, there's inconclusive evidence that this was the mandatory action done for the preservation of particular inward parts in the Egyptian mummification practice and system. So there is some evidence of the action.
Not AI, humble. My bad to the other brother. Hey, no. Hey, yo, humble. You can't do that, brother. You pulling AI. But
that ain't me. That's not my source. That's his source.
I pulled an AI, but in I don't know if it gives everything I'm looking at, but if it does, you would actually see a couple of the news articles that are re-articulating the misconception that this was a standard practice that was always done, because the evidence, again, does not agree to this. Yes, you can have, by the way, the tissue of the brain, it can liquefy. You're absolutely right. It can liquefy, and it doesn't take a long time for the brain, quote unquote, to liquefy. And again, modern research, they're doing different types of studies nowadays than what they did in the past on mummies and even bone boxes of antiquity. So like for the Jews, one thing they're doing now is they're collecting these bone boxes and doing scrubs on the actual the interior surface of the bone box to try to get some of the DNA of the ancient Israelites mapped up in a database. And it's somewhat successful. It's not absolutely successful, but these are new practices being done, and this is why that idea is being reconsidered in light of Egyptology studies. Because again, they found many corpses that have been mummified with brain fragments still remained inside of the corpse.
Good shit, Barbarian. Intact.
Hey, cut him up, Barbarian. If you don't mind, can I go? I know I was just I forgot.
Intact. The key word is intact.
Hold on 1 second.
Intact.
Hold on 1 second, Omar.
Good shit, Barbarian. My bad, humble. My bad.
I just want to go through here because I seen you've been doing some research, bro. And you hold on 1 second. Oh yeah, this is mine. But I seen you've been doing some research, bro, and I just want to just show people a great thing about how to utilize AI. Everybody be trying to look, AI bad. But if you don't mind,
it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
Can I show this real quick? Cut them up. I just want to expound on this real quick.
You're showing it, ain't you?
Yeah, but this might be your personal information. This might be your personal research, bro. You don't want to see people what you doing.
That's not my personal. All I did was copy the.
No, I ain't saying you're personal like that. I'm just saying you might be getting ready for something and you don't want. You see what I'm saying?
That was quick. Look.
You told me not to. Hold on 1 second.
All Barbarian did. He just pulled something up quick.
Yeah, hold on.
That's
1
all
second.
he did.
But I see in the link
to validate.
Hold on 1 second, Brody. Hold on 1 second. So I see in the link he was researching other things, and the other things he was probably researching, right, which I think is interesting and I want to expound on a little bit. He might not be like, nah, bro, this, I'm working on something with this real quick. Don't, get a people. I want to get a people that. So that's why I was giving my courtesy to ask the brother, did he mind if I break this down a little bit? Now, so this is how one properly utilizes AI. This is an amazing way to utilize AI, right? So he starts out, how does Richard Courier identifies the religion of Jabari Ozaze, right?
Oh, that got lumped in there. Okay.
So he start going in, right? Now, what this is doing is literally giving Richard Courier's views, everything that Richard Courier put out on his aspects of Jabari Ozaze, right? This have, right? So then it comes down here. You can see it gives the archives. So if Barbarian was ever debating Jabari on a subject matter, he could literally go back to these archives and say, okay, well, what did he say in this video? What did he say in this video? You can even go to show more, right? And then, so the reason I'm showing y'all this, or the reason I was showing y'all that is because our content is on YouTube. So for an example, me and Kazad is debating, right? I'm not going to do this, but if I was, I could just really go to Gemini and be like, hey, what is Kazad point of views on bop, according to the last YouTube videos he was in on the HOK? It'll pull that up for me. So then I can go through those YouTube, because I can even say, hey, can you turn these YouTube videos into 3-minute clips? It'll turn it into a 3-minute clip, so I can then go back and I can abstract the information I need without sitting there watching the whole video. You see what I'm saying? So this is a brilliant way to utilize AI if you're a scholastic researcher, right, and getting ready for these debates. This is an amazing way to sharpen up on your debate skills and on your intellect portfolio, your sources, like we say. You see what I'm saying? So, hey, brother Barbarian, I see you doing your thing, bro. Keep it up, my guy.
Look, humble. I saw y'all pulled this dude Jabari up. Let me tell y'all something about Jabari, because everybody hold this guy like he's some, like, and you know what? I give him his props. He got PhDs. He's a doctor, but I'm gonna tell you where Jabari would easily do it. Jabari is he is a professor that teaches a college curriculum. He has to give his students a curriculum. Based upon that curriculum, outside of what he come on all these other channels and shit and teach that garbage. If you go to Jabari class, his curriculum on what he teaches in the college curriculum, he has to go with the consensus. He's gonna die by that every time, because guess what? He's an accredited scholar. He's a professor that teaches a curriculum. He has to go by the consensus. But guess what?
I got
outside of that, he come on these platforms and feed people word salad and garbage. But guess what Jabari do to his students? That nigga teaches the college curriculum. Conversation over with. Jabari, he like I said, outside, he's clever with his debates. But how you jam Jabari up? What do you teach your students? Oh, I got to open up a book and I have to teach curriculum, and then I have to grade the papers. Conversation over. This dude ain't no scholar all like that. It's as far as debating and all that garbage. I'm about, the netters wasn't literal. It was all spirituality. This nigga got beat up. He got beat up as a youngin because he was a Catholic, and that nigga hate the Bible so he hate the Bible so much. He will disagree with the curriculum that he teaches his students, and this is all accredited. He'll disagree with the curriculum that he teach just to come over here and debate, to disagree with the curriculum that he teaches. Conversation over with this guy. I ain't putting that nigga on no pedestal. I don't put that nigga on no pedestal.
Could you tell
Now,
me
one
what?
thing I will say, bro, one thing I will say is I do give Brother Jabari a whole lot of credit. And when it do come to teaching this information, I do put him up there with the Info DGs, the Bobby Hirus. And the reason I do that is because I can literally today go to YouTube and see him lead in the Torah and Kemet. He's not listening to a tour guide. He's not following a tour guide. He is the tour guide. He is the one that's doing these things. So I do have to give him respect in that regard. We talk about, hold on one second, Omar. Let me land my plane and you got it next. Let me land my plane. I'm gonna land right here. When we talk about the debate scene, hey, people, hey, listen, it get tough in these debate scenes, bro. It don't matter who you is, it don't matter how many degrees you got, it get tough in this debate scene. So, hey, listen, I gotta give
nigga, hold on, humble. Hold on. Yeah. I respect the humble, but here's my thing. How's a nigga gonna debate one thing, say one thing in a debate, and then the next day when he wake up in the morning and he shows up as a professor teaching a class as a curriculum, totally disagree and contradict himself from what he just said the other night before, teaching a curriculum. You can't do that, man. Listen.
Well, it's the same thing Kazar about to do in this debate, right? He
do that, brother.
Talking about God and Ella is the same, but then when we debate, he got to prove that God and Ella different, or Yahweh and Ella different.
So honestly, I want your opinion, humble.
Mm-hmm.
A nigga who does that, do you say he stand on business, or is he 1 foot in and 1 foot out, or is a nigga wish-washy? What you say about that nigga?
They wishy-washy. You know what I'm gonna say? They wishy. Let me cam up when I say that too. They wishy-washy.
He 1 foot in and 1 foot out, because the nigga will debate, say one thing, and then the next morning when he wake up as a professor, he'll teach something totally different. Man, look, man, you got to stand on business, and I understand he's well compensated. He's well compensated. I don't respect niggas like that.
No, that's a fact.
Facts, bro.
Hey, listen, that's one thing we can stand on. When it goes, see, here's the thing, and this is why this debate between me and Kazad should be really interesting, right? Because exactly what Omar is talking about, let me cam up again when I say this. Exactly what Omar is talking about, right? You can't come on here saying what you want to say and doing what you want to do, and then your faith is on a whole opposite side. So do you really stand with what you stand with, or you just debating for views? Or you just doing this because you see what I'm saying?
I've never heard Kassad say that. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't watch every live. I don't watch everything. So maybe I don't know if he said or maybe if his words went that way. I'm just saying, whenever I hear Brother Kassad speak, I've never heard that nigga talk like that. That nigga Kassad Kassad stand on business.
All right, so let me
as far as what I heard.
So when I seen him debate Assam Kha, right? He kept saying it and repeating and repeating. Now,
He killed Assam Kha.
Now watch this. Hold on 1 second, Brody. Hold on 1 second. So the debate was El versus Yah, who was the Most High God, and Assam Kha was trying to separate them, and he was trying to show how El was the high God and Yahweh was the low God. But Kazad, every time he came in, he would assimilate the two. El is a title. God is Yahweh is the name. El is a title. Yahweh is the name. They the same God. El is the title. Yahweh is the name. They the same. He kept saying that. Well, now we got a debate. Is the Canaanite God El and the biblical Yahweh the same God? Now he got to come to this debate and say, "Oh no, El and Yahweh are different gods." But in the last two debates you didn't had, you were saying they was the same God. So now I want to know if you want to go against your faith.
I didn't say that. Kassad didn't say that. No. This is it may have went over y'all head. Basically, all Kassad said, El was just a generic term for those people in that region just saying God. And that's all it is. Kassad was absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. It's not a proper pronoun. It's not a proper pronoun. It's the Kassad was correct. Listen. In that region, in that region at the time, because a lot of those dialects was the same. So when a person just say El, all they just saying is God. Now the God can be Yahweh, it can be Baal, it can be different. But because the dialects was the same, El is just it's a generic term.
So that's
We're
where
just saying God.
Watch this.
Hold on.
This is where
Yara got
Kassad
me.
got caught up. Hold
Yara
on one
got
second.
me.
This is where Kassad got caught up. When they went to
No,
the book, I
Kassad
believe
didn't get caught up.
Hold on
Kassad-
one second.
Kassad
Hold
cooked.
on one second. Hold on. When they went to the
Oh, it's
book
a delay.
of Deuteronomy,
Slaki. It's a delay. Slaki.
all right. When they went to the book of Deuteronomy, I believe it was the book of Deuteronomy, and Asam Kha was trying to say that Elion there was different than Yahweh getting his portion. Cause I'd say no, Elion and Yahweh, Elion is just a title. Yahweh, they're the same God. So he like, no, bro, they different. He like, no, they the same. So once again, he's gonna have to show. He's
Who
gonna
said
have
they
to
was
either
different?
go historically.
No, humble. Who said they was different? Who said they was different? I just want you to
Khan
elaborate.
said it was different, and he was saying it was the same. And so now, right, we're debating, and now he have the same debate he was doing, but he have to stand on the other side. And he told me, yo, I bring the same slides I brought against them. Well, you just gonna be proving my point if you do that. So
well, he's not though, bro. Like,
yes,
man, I really respect what y'all be doing, bro. But we can tell y'all new to the information, and so I'm gonna say this, bro. While you googling, right?
no. I'm having my thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just messing with you. But I'm gonna say this to you. He's 100% correct, right? Because you guys are under the assumption that when the term El is used in the biblical narrative, that it's the speaking of the same El deity that the Canaanite pantheon talks about, and it's not.
No. We understand. Well, I can speak
No,
for myself.
you don't.
I hold
Because
on
you
one
wouldn't be
second.
having this debate.
I understand that when we look at things like Elohim and Elion and El Shaddai in the Bible, I understand that the church fathers or whoever wrote that in there, the Masoretes, whoever wrote that in there, are assimilating that El is a title. I understand that. My thing is they got that from El, the god of the Canaanites.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
That's the contention
No,
right
no,
there.
no.
They flipped it and used it as a title.
No,
but
they
that
no,
comes
they
from El before they were worshiping Yahweh,
Can I
and
ask
they
you a
had to assimilate the two. See, that's where he got to fall at.
no humble. That's not how you
real,
synthesize that.
real quick, humble man, I ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Do you listen to liberal YouTube Bible scholars like Dan McCullen?
Dan McCullen, no.
Kip Davis, Josh Bowman?
No.
Okay, well, I would suggest you at least consider Dan and Kip's articulation on these issues. Kip's a little more slippery. Dan is pretty consistent, at least when it comes to this issue.
All right, what they say?
It's been stated already in the Hebrew Bible. There's a common noun that can function as a proper noun, El, and that common noun is not limited to a reference to the proper name, proper noun usage in the Canaanite text for El, the deity.
So why is Yahweh name, or why is the Israelites name not Israel and not Israel?
Common colloquialism.
No,
L
ain't
was
common colloquialism. They kept the L part there.
yes,
Why
and
did
if
they
you
keep
pay,
the L? Now, what do we know? What do we know about names? Right? Whenever in ancient times they have, when we see L, right, on the end of a name, we know that they are assimilating that with the god of that region. We know that. So we
don't
can't
know that.
say, oh, well, L was just a colloquial thing. It started off for the Israelites as a colloquial thing. No, L was once their god.
Are you denying that they used a similar language as their neighbors
No,
with a lot of overlapping terms?
no.
So you're in agreement that they used
Before they
Okay.
became the Israelite, hold on 1 second. Before they became the Israelites, they worshiped the same God as their neighbors. They didn't worship a distinct God until they became the Israelites.
Strongly disagree to that.
That's false.
What? Oh,
That's
my
false.
Yeah, here's a good reason to reject
That's
that.
wild.
Here's a good reason to reject this thesis. Consider the religious cultic objects of the early Israelites.
Mm-hmm.
Their primary cultic object was what? The Ark of the Covenant.
No,
There
you
was-
said early. It's hold on. Are you trying to say proto? Because y'all be trying to flip flop these names. Are you saying early Israelites as the proto Israelites, or are you saying early Israelites as the Israelites in there like when they first started to form?
That's an equivocal question.
No, because if you saying proto Israelites, the proto Israelites are Canaanites. But if you saying the Israelites when they first started to form, when they broke away from Canaan, then
So-
I can say, okay, you talking about the Ark of the Covenant and things of that nature.
So yeah, I disagree that the proto-Israelites are quote unquote Canaanites. I think that that's Canaanite stock, they have primarily Amorite stock, but they're not just Amorites or of Amorite lineage. They're not just Shashu or of Shashu lineage. They're not just other Canaan, like their religious practices, especially early on, whether you want to talk about pre-Israelite culture or proto-Israelite culture, I see those as synonyms for the sake of this discussion. But again, the primary cultic object of these ancient peoples was the Ark of the Covenant. And there's a unique feature on the Ark of the Covenant that's contrary to all the other ancient arks and barks around the ancient Near East, even in Egypt. And that was no deity and icon in the on the top of the quote unquote mercy seat or the lid.
Well, that's not true because and we're talking about proto-Israelites, right? The Canaanites, there was no Ark of the Covenant then, because they were polytheistic. So we sing El, Yahweh, we sing Asherah, we sing Baal, we sing all of them in there. When we talk about the Canaanites, there was no, all of them assimilated about the Ark of the Covenant and this, that. No, that's not how that went down.
Right, but let's just deal with the Canaanite issue real quick. Hold on, real quick. I got a point.
No. I just want to tell y'all, brothers, I got a dip. I just got a dip. I just want to land my plane before I go. I got to go spend some time with my rib. Man, shout out to Titan Debate League, my brother who giving me a voice. Much respect and love to Titan. Much respect to Humble. Even though I ain't gonna front, I was cutting that nigga. I was interrupting the shit out that nigga Humble. He's a good sport though. I love that brother. He's a solid brother that does a good job. Is leading the panel. Shout out to A1. Shout out! Of course, I gotta give my L to my Chicago brother, Yara. Shout out to Yara. Much love. Cut him up to Barbarian, and then I gotta give much love to my guy, GD Capone. Man, much love. I gotta go spend some time with my red man. Y'all brothers keep doing what y'all doing. Much love and respect. And let the information lead the information. You know what I'm saying? Iron sharpens iron. Much respect. Love y'all, brothers. Love y'all, brothers.
Hey, Yara, what part of our city is this brother from? That's all my question was.
think he's from the west side, bro.
Oh, so we just West Siders in here. All right. I was
I
wondering
can't hear
why.
you no more. Cut him up.
He said,
I said, so we all just West Siders in here. That's why I felt like home.
Man, I can't hear him. I got knocked out some kind of way. I got to go out and come back in.
Yep.
Mic check 1 2. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
That was his mic. We heard you the whole time.
Issa,
Okay.
did you shoot me a picture for your graphics?
Yeah, I sent it to your text messages.
Okay, let me double check.
All right, so real quick, Humble. There is an interesting aspect of early Israelite culture that is uniquely anti-Canaanite. Are you familiar with this?
No.
It's both anti and of Canaanite. It's both.
I think it's definitely not. Canaanites loved pig. The early Israelites did not.
Right,
This-
but that's more so so when you're a subject of a certain group of people and you're living under their cultural practices, when you start to create your own cultural practices, you'll keep some and get rid of others. So like there's a lot of language that the early Israelites kept from the Canaanites. There's a lot of the gods that are in the books, like they kept that from the Canaanites, but they also distinguished themselves from the Canaanites. So you do see a dualistic ideology when it comes to that.
Right. But then when we talk about that, we got to talk about time periods, right? Because again, if okay, so let's put a time period on it, right? So let's say from 1800 BCE to 1300 BCE, there was no Israelites. So everybody over there that we would be considering Israelites were Canaanites. So they was doing everything the rest of the Canaanites were doing. There was no distinct culture where we could see, okay, these people were doing something different than the Canaanites, although they were living in the same place.
Where are you considering the over? Where's the location? You're saying
Canaan.
Interesting. So during that time period, the Israelites wouldn't have been in Canaan.
There was no Israelites at all.
They would have been in Egypt. The sons of Jacob, sons of Israel would have been in Egypt.
1800 BCE.
Till
You
13.
do realize, time out. You do realize the first time we ever see a mention of Israel ever in history is 1208 BCE.
1208, yeah.
So that means that they couldn't have been in there back then, 1800 BCE, because we would have seen inscriptions of them.
No, that's a huge misconception. We don't have inscriptions.
We got inscriptions of the Canaanites in 1800 BCE, but not the Israelites.
Yeah, we don't.
Not even the Canaanites. We got inscriptions of the Amorites, the Hittites, but not like it don't make sense.
We don't have exhaustive lists or records from any of these people.
Yeah, we do. You never heard of the Amarna letters?
That's 10 years worth of records, and those are only the correspondences to Egypt, not the Egyptian correspondences back. They were found in Egypt.
Have you heard of the Mari tablets?
Yes.
All right, so all of these are predating what you will call the Israelites.
The Mari tablets were found in Levant.
Let me ask you a question. What language was found? What writings? I don't even want to say language because I don't even want to get into that whole thing. I'm gonna correct myself. What writings was found, or whose people? What can I say that? What was the font of writing?
Yeah, during what time period? So we have administrative records beginning around the time of Ramses II in Akkadian script of Semites.
Who?
You're not familiar with the world's oldest peace treaty?
I'm asking, who are these people that you saying we got records dating from Ramses? Who? Where?
Ramses II. He has actually a diglot, or a peace treaty written in 2 different languages. One with the people of, I want to say, either Kadesh or the Libyans. From those battles, there was a peace treaty that was established, and that peace treaty is written in 2 different languages. One in Egyptian, the other one is in Akkadian script.
Okay, what they got to do with the Israelites during that time?
Oh, the Israelites during that time. Well, we actually do have architectural continuity in both Egypt and the early Israelite settlements with the four-room house coming out of Egypt, because we find four-room houses abundant of ours. We also find a four-room house outside of the building complex in Thebes during the reign of Hormuzd. So that's architectural continuity. Not to mention, where's this food, this pig taboo probably originating? If they had an experience, a long-term experience in Egypt, and Egypt also has a pig taboo, it doesn't. It's not very complicated to me to just pay attention to the tracking in the dirt. And there's a community that springs about at the end of the Late Bronze, early Iron Age, in the Levant, in these territories where the Israelites in their literature claim to settle, beginning at Mount Ebal onward. And these territories have four-room houses, no pig taboos, and at least those two aspects have continuity in ancient Egypt, not in the Levant. So where did those people likely come from? Probably Egypt. And if you can actually read the ethnogenesis of Israelites, of the ancient Israel people, in a very, very well received work from Avram Frost, an archaeologist and sociologist at Bar Ilan University in Jerusalem. He's actually been an adjunct professor at Harvard. So it's a very, very influential work as it relates to the origin of the Israelites. And yes, he does state very clearly in that work and in recent publications where he sort of summarized the book, there was likely an Egyptian community that came into Canaan in the midst of the origin of the Israelite ethnogenesis. So there is some evidence of a Egyptian transfer of culture and peoples. And just looking at the biblical text, when we read the names of the Levite priests, it's quite interesting because they have Egyptian names. Most of the other Israelites have Amoritic style names.
Okay.
Not quite Canaanite, but Amoritic. And the language is also very technically tough to decipher, but many critical scholars and linguists are suggesting the Hebrew language parallels more or less the Aramean language, not so much the Canaanite language. So there's actually more cultural similitudes in the Arameans, with the Aramean people and the early Israelites as it relates to their language compared to, say, the Canaanites. That's a very technical argument I would have to demonstrate, but it's been made and it's there, especially with some of these new findings out of Lakesh.
Okay, so let me just read this really fast. In 1259 BCE, and the reason I'm at 1259 is because this is when this treaty was. In 1259 BCE, there were no Israelite settlements in Egypt or Canaan. The Israelites were not yet a settled nation. Archaeology shows that in 1259 BCE, the people later called Israelites were still a part of Canaanite population, living in typical late Bronze Age towns, not a distinct hill country Israelite village that appeared later in 1200 to 1000 BCE. What the land look like in 1259? Hold on, I got you. Archaeology. The date falls in late Bronze Age, 1550 to 1200 BCE. Canaanites was controlled by Egypt. Egypt girdles, Egyptian governors, Canaanite city-states paying tribute. Populations, Canaanites, not Israelites. Archaeology shows urban Canaanite cities, Hazor, Megiddo, Lynching, and Gezer, places, temples, fortifications, international trades with Egypt, Cyprus, and the Hittites. No evidence of Israelite villages yet. The early Israelite settlement appeared after 1200 BCE during the Iron Age 1 period, not in 1259. What Israelite meant in this period? The first time Israel appeared in history is on the Merneptah Stele, 1207 BCE, 52 years after 1259. And even then, Israel is described as a people, not as a kingdom, nomadic, not semi-settled, without cities. So in 1259 BCE, there were not yet visible as a distinct group, which let us know during this time they were still Canaanites. So what did Israelite settlement look like in 1259 BCE? It did not yet exist. Archaeologists, listen, primarily all archaeologists of critically acclaimed agree that in 1259 BCE, there were no Israelite villages, just Canaanite towns under Egyptian rules. The Israelite settlement patterns, 4-room houses, no pig bones, collared rooms, does not appear until when? After 1208. So what he was just saying was flim-flam, because the 4-room houses and all that didn't appear during 1259.
I'm glad I was very clear in my statements. I said Proto-Israel begins to form in Canaan, the transitional phase of the late Bronze, early Iron Age. I'm glad I'm in agreement with that. Thank you for
y'all literally saying the same thing without saying the same thing, right? For the case of argument, like instead of just saying Canaanite, I don't know why we keep on going to Proto-Israel. I don't know why we keep doing that. But how can I go after you?
Go ahead. I can go after Sister Issa Queen, but I just want to really point out what the contention is between me and the brothers. The brothers are trying to say that they can trace Israelites as a distinct group of people way past 1200 BCE, which means that then the reason they're doing this is because they're trying to validate characters like Abraham. They're trying to validate characters like Eber. They're trying to validate characters like Isaac. So they're trying to say that they existed way before 1200 BCE. And so some of the arguments they bring is, oh, well, we can see the 4-bedroom houses way before 1200 BCE, which you can't do.
Actually, we can. And I just gave you evidence.
I just showed you couldn't do that.
So I gave particular instances and locations and time periods of rulership for these 4-room houses. You didn't address that. I said when did you address them?
Time out. You gave me a peace treaty and that happened in 1259. So I took the date. Hold on 1 second. I got you. So I took the date 1259 and I said, bro, do we got any 4-bedroom distinct houses that separate the Canaanites from the Israelites in 1259? No, we do not. The 4-bedroom houses don't come into after 1200 BCE.
That's incorrect.
That's okay. Go ahead, Sister Issa Queen. Go ahead, Sister Issa Queen.
I could start citing BTOC right now for you if you really wanted me to, because BTOC's the one who dug out of ours. He's the one that has that evidence and argument for the 4-room houses before they begin to pop up in very succinct, tight urban environments throughout Canaan. And that's happening in Egypt, out of ours. And again, prior to the Canaanite settlement of the Israelites popping up in history, you also find evidence of this going down, not only in Avaris, but also in Thebes during the reign of Horemheb, which is right before the Ramsonite period, which is where we have actual archaeological evidence of Avaris becoming abandoned during the time of Ramses II. Early to mid reign of Ramses II, Avaris becomes abandoned.
You said in Avaris during Ramses II, right?
Can you please repeat what you think I just said?
That y'all found 4-bedroom houses, right? Israelite 4-bedroom houses in Avaris during the time of Ramses II. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Number one, 4-room houses, at least by ancient Near Eastern archaeologists, are generally considered to be quote unquote Israelite houses.
Okay.
I'm claiming that housing structure is present in Egypt prior to it becomes prevalent in the Levant. Cultural continuity. And the other point of cultural continuity that I made earlier is Egypt has a no pig taboo. The Canaanites loved pig. The Amorites, everybody in Canaan loved pig until this brand new community pops up and sort of takes over the Judean foothills. And there you find less than 1% of pig attested at their initial
What you say the
settlement. Less than 0.5% to less than 1/2 or to less than 0.5% of pig founded at the early Israelite settlements. And by the way, it's not me who says the food thing is significant to identify ancient Israelites. You can blame Israel Finkelstein for that comment. 1996 Brill publication, E.J. Brill publication. He said explicitly, if there's any way to identify the Israelites from anyone else in ancient history, it would be by means of the food taboo, the no pig taboo. And then Finkelstein traces the no pig taboo from Mount Ebal all the way through the early settlements of what we believe were ancient Israelites. Initial settlements to identify those settlement locations due to the no pig bone being Israelite settlements, not Canaanite, but uniquely Israelite settlements. It would be easy to identify these settlements as Canaanite if they maintain their pig consumption.
Okay.
They don't.
So,
Check your messages, Issa.
so listen, right? So mind you, it say there were no 4-room Israelite houses in Avaris during the time of Ramses II, 1279 to 1213 BCE. The 4-room houses in Iron Age Israelite agriculture form and did not exist in the late Bronze Age when Avaris was occupied by Egyptians and early Hyksos. What's a 4-room house actually is? The archaeology is crystal clear. A 4-room house equals Iron Age Israelites, Judaites, domestic agriculture. Appears only after 1200 BCE. Found in the central highlands of Canaan, not Egypt. He just said we could find these things in Egypt. No, we can't. This style did not exist in late Bronze Age. The times of Ramses II. Would Avaris look like? Hold on 1 second. I got you, Brody. Would Avaris look like in Ramses II's time? Avaris Tel Ababa in the 13th century BCE was an Egyptian administrative military system built in Egyptian New Kingdom style, containing Egyptian style houses, places, and barracks, not Iron Age Israelite agriculture. The Hyksos earlier 1650 to 1550 BCE had Levantine style houses, but not 4-room houses. Oh wow. So they said Levantine houses, but the Levantine houses wasn't 4-room houses.
That's correct.
Hold on 1 second. I got you. Why was there no Israelite houses in Avaris? First, chronology mismatch. The 4-room houses appear after 1200 BCE, not before. Ramses II ruled 1279 and 1213. Avaris is abandoned as a major city by this reign. The capital moved to Pi-Ramses. Oh, so in 1213, right? 1259 to 1213, there was no Avaris. Avaris was abandoned, and the capital was moved to Pi-Ramses. So we couldn't have no 4-room houses in a place that was abandoned.
Can you please repeat yourself?
What? Repeat myself or what?
You said that when did Pi-Ramses cause Avaris to become abandoned?
1259 to 1213. 1213, he moved the capital to Pi-Ramses.
He did that well before then, but okay.
Can I just cut in real quick? Because I do have some interjections, right? First of all, A1, that picture is beautiful. Thank you. Loved it.
Perfect.
If I would have answered you, it would have cut me off of stream. So I just did that. Secondly, when it comes to the conversation, there are arguments out there that say that style of house is a layout for agrarian families, like families who live in that pastoral / herbalist lifestyle where you have the animals on the first floor and then everybody else on the second floor. Like that doesn't necessarily It doesn't at all actually talk to the ethnicity of the group. What it does do though, it can pose like this could be the Israelites, but it doesn't automatically prove that that's y'all, right? And then it does come into circular reasoning a little bit, right? So you'll have, if you define those houses as Israelite only because it's found in Israel, right? Using that to prove it elsewhere, you cannot prove that those other people didn't fashion a way of using that house as well, because you're really just looking at a more Semitic Canaanite version that has evolved from what the Canaanites were already doing. So it doesn't necessarily distinguish y'all until it distinguishes y'all when y'all pop up in the, with the Israelites in Canaan, not in Egypt. So I do feel like that was very good evidence. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say that what you said was off or wrong or anything like that. I do feel like it's a step in the right direction for having this, for getting this type of history out there and connecting it to Israelites. I just don't see the connection yet.
I got you. To be honest, can you hear me, by the way?
Go ahead.
Okay. To be honest, I agree with you. Using any of these particular archaeological features to say, oh, yes, this is Israelites, that is a little flippant. I think if we are to identify the Israelites, it needs to be accumulatively, and the accumulative data would include more than just mere building structures, or even more than just mere food habits, dietary habits. It's a lot more that goes into this in order to make this identification for Israelite settlements or Israelite housing structures or what have you. So I'm in complete agreement with you there. I'm just saying that according to some, so I don't know, the sister may be actually familiar with Abram Frost or some of these other scholars, but even when it comes to the four-room house debate, the four-room house structure, before it appears in Canaan, it's also evident in the Transjordan. We have like one or two Transjordan housing structures that are four-room houses over that way. And this is slightly before the early Israelite settlements. And that's interesting in light of the fact the biblical narrative has them enter around Edom, because they bypass Edom going eastward, and then they come into Canaan going west. So they're coming from the east to the west to enter into the territory that they ultimately settled in according to the narrative. And if that four-room house in the Transjordan is to be identified with an Israelite settlement, and I'm not saying it has or is, but if it is, there would be more evidence to the accuracy, the verisimilitude of the biblical narrative of the ethnogenesis. That's it. But yeah, again, there's four-room housing structures abundant out of ours, and there's one four-room house structure at Thebes in a temple complex just outside of where Horemheb was reigning. Again, this is right before Avaris becomes abandoned, and there's archaeological evidence for the abandonment of Avaris sometime during the period of P. Ramses being fully constructed. And it's also very interesting. The evidence for abandonment on the ground at Avaris is not Semitic evidence.
I'm sorry, did he cut out, or is that just me?
I don't know. It might be me. Can you hear me? Mic check.
Yeah, I think that was me. I'm sorry. I think that was me.
Is this any better for y'all?
You sounded great to me, but that is clear.
Okay. All right. So I just took y'all off my Bluetooth. But yeah, Humble, there's plenty of evidence of four-room houses in Egypt. And there's a little bit of, so the main reason why the four-room house argument even gets made is because over 97% of them are found in Israelite settlements. That's why they are often identified as Israelite. housing structures because they tightly appear in very succinct fashion throughout the Judean foothills, etc., for this particular community. And so that's the primary reason. It's very tight knit, univocal type of community. They have essentially one type of pottery. They have one type of housing structure. They have they clearly are abstaining from pigs, which is contrary to everybody around them. During the same time, you find an abundance of pig usage, over 10% of pig in most of the neighboring cities. But yeah, now, yeah, Humble, I wasn't arguing the Israelites were in Canaan during the time of the Battle of Kadesh or the battle with the Libyans that Ramses and Merneptah, maybe with Merneptah, but not really with Ramses II. They ended up leaving. I would argue that the Israelites ended up leaving out of Egypt soon after the Prince of Egypt died, because the Prince of Egypt was the primary one that was over the Shashu. By the way, they primarily get identified as Shashu, even though they're, the most recent and captive slaves coming from Levant. They primarily get identified as Shashu without particular tribal affiliations. And yet we know through the Sholeb inscription that might be their tribal chieftains. Like, as it relates to all of those people, even the Shashu of Yahu, that Yahu or Jehu, that likely was the name of a tribal chieftain, not a deity.
Okay.
But yeah.
Can I ask a quick question? Oh, sorry, Humble.
I was just gonna say, I do want to just put everybody on notice that what he's talking about is still after 1208 BC. So yes, there were 4-room houses
It's before 1208 BC.
That was not before 1208 BC.
1250 is before 1208.
Wasn't
Chronology goes down.
Okay, bro. So you're saying in 1250 there were houses, 4-room houses, during the Transjordan.
They were there. They in the Transjordan, yeah. They were there already. Like, they were there at least 100 years before they began to pop up. Well, correction. The Transjordan 4-room house is, if I'm not mistaken, almost contemporaneous with the Israelite housing structures.
Well, of course, because they right there. Yeah, that's where they settled at. Yeah. But that's after 1208 BCE. That's what I'm telling you.
It's around this time, like it's very tough. It's very tough to give a precise date for structures. So we have to give date ranges. I'm saying it's within that time period.
Well, because this is another argument that's out there as well, right? That these houses could have just as well been built by the Hyksos, right? And I think that's why the Israelites constantly try to connect themselves to the Hyksos, because there is a history of, them being in that area. The houses being built could have been built by the early Hyksos settlers before or after. Well, before they actually came into power, because I believe the place Tel Adava was the capital of the Hyksos reign.
That's correct. And Ramses II might have been part of that lineage, of the Hyksos lineage.
Right. So what I'm saying is, right, there is something there if you can connect these two things. But I just feel like history itself isn't connecting those dots, because, or let me rephrase, the information that we have so far, the history doesn't necessarily show this Israelite connection, even though the Israelites, the Hyksos, the Canaanites, you could all found a similar foundation because they're all coming out of the same area. So that's like, all of us are speaking English, but if we went to somewhere else, right, we went to another country, we would probably do things slightly different. We would talk a little bit differently. So I just feel like when it comes to connecting the dots is not necessarily connected, but there are dots there because he's not wrong when he's saying that those houses were there.
So the issue that he's having is so when we talk about the Hyksos, right? Because Sister Issa Queen brought up the Hyksos. The Hyksos lived in Levantine style houses. They just wasn't 4-room houses, right?
Agreed.
So were there Hyksos houses there? Of course they were, but they wasn't Israelite houses. So now this is why we have to put it in a time frame, right? Now, if we're speaking after 1208 BCE or even 1208 BCE going down, right? Then I would most definitely say, okay, yeah, we can see that the settlements of the Israelites. But when you start talking about 1800 BCE, 1500 BCE, 2000 BCE, absolutely not. There's no proof in his. Now, again, the reason they got to put it back there is because, remember, Abraham exists. Moses exists. You see what I'm saying? And so this is the only qualifying way to say these people existed if we try to push these settlements and stuff back further than what the actual academia says it is. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we have to get understood. We ain't saying, oh, there was no Israelite houses settlement there. Yeah. But after 1208 BC, after the Israelites became the Israelites, we can't see this structure happen before they become the Israelites because they still Canaanites at this time. So if you say after they become the Israelites, then we see the structure and things of that nature, of course, I would agree with you. But we don't see the structure before they become the Israelites. Absolutely not.
Yeah, so the way BTOC identified the 4-room houses in ancient Avars were by calling them middle cell houses. And he described those middle cell houses as having 4 rooms. And he said that these middle cell houses or pillared houses seem to parallel that of the early Iron Age Israelite settlement housing structures. This is in Avars. This is before Ramses II, and this is in between the Hyksos and Ramses. It's within this time period you find housing structures of the 4-room style or the middle cell style at Avars. And again, if you want to read BTOC, you can. You can read the transdisciplinary work. That, matter of fact, you don't even got to read them. You could go to YouTube and look up his lectures at the Exodus conferences because he has conferences. They just recently had 2 conferences on the Exodus events, if they're historical or not. How do multiple disciplinary fields approach the data? And in his presentation, I could try to pull up the book, but because I'm on my phone, it's not going to act right. Nonetheless, in his presentation, he literally showed the 4-room housing structure in Thebes prior to Ramses II. So this will be prior to Horemheb is the end of the 18th dynasty. So at that transitional phase of the 18th, 19th dynasty, you have 4-room houses in Egypt. That's before the early Iron Age settlements of the Israelites. And I'm saying Israelites in air quotes. And just to let you know, sister, I'm not an Israelite. I am a Christian. I don't personally identify with the plight and history per se of the Israelites directly. I do have affinities with their theology though. So yeah, I'm not trying to prove my lineage by dealing with Exodus at all. I'm not saying that's what you gained. I'm just
no, yeah,
letting
that's
her
not
know.
what I'm saying about you. I was actually I was actually splitting hairs a little bit because I do see where you're coming from with this, but for me, the information leads me to a Canaanite basis in this area. The foundation of, for me, that foundation of that house, of that architecture comes from Canaan. So it being in other places doesn't necessarily speak to it being of Israelite. It just more so speaks to like that structural evolution that the Israelites soon enough inherited from these proto people, whether you want to call them proto Israelites. I like to call them just Canaanites, right? Because when you look at the Israelite history, when they are here, they're making their temples. They do have shrines. They do have little ways to worship, and I don't necessarily see that type of cultural inclusion into these houses when we're talking about them, because it wouldn't just be a house, it would be a culture that people lived in those houses, and that's what's missing from all of it, is the culture of the Israelites, because a people don't become a people until they have a whole set of things to distinguish them as that. And that's why we can distinguish them with the Steles, but not before that, because before that they were just one of everybody else. It was just Canaanites, and that's kind of where I come from with that. But I do see the case that y'all making. I see the case that y'all making. I need a little bit more information, but I see it.
Oh, well, here's an interesting bit of information. A lot of people don't even realize this, but Merneptah is actually mentioned, and possibly his conquest is alluded to in Torah, but Merneptah is actually mentioned. His throne name is mentioned a couple of places that the Israelites initially camped at. For example, Kadesh Barnea. That's a throne name of Merneptah. We also find Merneptah's name explicitly mentioned twice, at least twice, in the book of Joshua. So by the time they entered into the land of Canaan and are beginning to settle in Jerusalem, according to the text, they're clearly just outside of territory that has been marked by Merneptah. So Exodus 1:11, they're building buildings, storage houses for Ramses II's building constructions, namely P. Ramses, and the Temple of Amun, or Pithom. And so those locations have been excavated. Tel El Rataba, Tel El Kantir. Tel El Kantir is where P. Ramses was, and Tel El Rataba is the original place of the Ramsonite period Pithom, House of Atum. So those have been excavated. We know when the foundations were laid fairly well, and yet the Bible also articulates once they enter into Israel, they're about 2 kilometers away from a body of water that they call the springs or waters of Merneptah. That's interesting to me, because now you actually can get indirect appeals to particular kings that are ruling during the time that they're allegedly making these movements, especially when these place names have what's the word? They have eponymous place names. They're named after individuals. Ramses II, P. Ramses, Springs of Neptoah, Springs of Merneptah, with Merneptah. And it's succinct. It's not like a jumping around of pharaohs in the narrative. It's successive. So Ramses II, they're building houses, or they're building storage units in Egypt for P. Ramses and Pithom. And then once they enter into Israel, 2 kilometers away about, you got the Springs of Merneptah. So, I mean, chronologically speaking, in the narrative, the primary source of the Exodus is the Exodus tradition itself. But within that narrative, we do see succinct chronological succession through place names and toponyms of eponymous ancestors, namely particular pharaohs.
All right, real fast, Barbarian. Hey, brother A1, you there?
Yep.
All right. I'm about to hop off, Brody. Hey, yo, I see y'all tomorrow. Most definitely. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate brother A1. Thank you for coming through, Sister Issa Queen. Everybody, y'all know we be here tomorrow. I'm out.
Peace. I'll keep it running for you.
Peace, Humble.
And just peace, Humble. Just to let you know, sister, I would recommend 2 articles. Well, really, one article and then one book, right? Because this one article addresses everything you just talked about regarding the four-room houses and their established culture that should be self-evident in this. Yeah, I would say consider the four-room house article from Avram Frost. It's phenomenal. So yeah, consider that, and I would also say consider Ralph Hawkins' book. If you want access to it, I could get you that. But Ralph Hawkins' book, How Israel Became a People, because in that book he actually engages, synthesizes, and articulates the mainstream perspectives, positive and negative, and synthesizes the four-room house stuff. Because it's a lot. It's a lot, and I would say that some of the things you're suggesting should be self-evident in the housing architecture have been articulated in the scholarship, and it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Can you write it in the chat so I could write it down and, look it up later?
Do you? I can.
Or I can hit you with my email is basically my name 17 Gmail.
Put your email in the chat. Do you have Facebook?
See, A1 was just talking to me about this the other day. I'm gonna
Everybody's
have
in
to download Facebook again.
Yeah, just download the Messenger. You don't necessarily need the actual Facebook, but Messenger gets you in our group chats.
Okay.
Messenger
Yeah,
will get you
I'm
in the
gonna have
group
to
chat.
download. I can't download it here because work restrictions, but I definitely got it. I'm gonna download it.
Yeah, because I could send you those articles and books and supplementary material on all of this stuff too. Because I think you would really enjoy, or you don't even have to, you could just watch some of these YouTube videos. Again, they've had, in the last decade, they've had 2 Exodus conferences, over 40 scholars at each conference presented papers. I would suggest watching Avram Frost's articles that he presented at both conferences, but it looks a lot better on the second Exodus conference. He did not have a good slideshow presentation. I mean, like he did, it just wasn't as well succinct and as the second presentation. The second presentation flowed a lot better, if that makes any sense. Same information, it just flowed better the second time he presented it. You see what I'm saying?
No, I get that. I get that.
Oh, okay. I see
Yeah, I'll
it.
definitely look at the information. There's nothing wrong with, intaking new information, especially if it's accurate, and it's coming from archaeological, paleontology, all of that. If they're coming from that standpoint, I would definitely look into it.
For sure. Do you have any archaeological training?
So I'm actually supposed to be doing a dig soon. I'm very excited about it. I can't really talk about it because I signed some paperwork, but I will have some training in it very soon.
That's what's up. I have not. I've only attended a dig. I've never participated in a dig, and that was when I was at Jackson State University. I was doing mass media broadcasting and journalism, and I didn't know Mississippi Ole Miss had a top-notch archaeological department. So I went over there and was able to observe them while they did a dig. I have some training in archaeology from Lorenzo Nigro through online courses, and he's an ancient Near Eastern archaeologist. I don't know if you've heard of Lorenzo Nigro, but his name, I don't even know how familiar you are with like some of these topics, biblically speaking, but the Jericho, right? He's the current lead excavator at the site of Tel El Sultan, or Jericho, ancient Jericho, and yeah, he's he's causing a few uproars in the community, even though I would argue nothing he said is new. Nothing at all he said is new. None of his articulations are new, per se. But because he's the current excavator at the particular site, you know, he just gets a little more weight behind his name. But yeah, it's interesting though. Jericho used to be claimed, oh, it doesn't line up with the biblical narrative. And now, arguably, there's some evidence in light of his research, in particular, in light of his research over the length of Jericho, quote unquote, City 5. Because he says Jericho City 4 was the city that was destroyed in 1550. That's Garstank's destruction layer. There are some problems there in light of his recent research. One of those problems is he hasn't found it, like some of this evidence of the destruction layer at Jericho during a particular time. And that time would be around the time of Joshua's conquest, or at least around the time of Hatsor's conquest. You know, because we have a very thick ash layer at Hatzor. Hatzor has a very pristine stratigraphy. It's not mixed, jumbled up. We find mixed and jumbled up stratigraphy at Avaris right around the time it becomes important, during the reign of Ramses. But, you know, with Jericho, you know, you got two sets of walls. You got the mud brick wall. You got the Colopian wall. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm going off into a tangent, even though this is something that might spark your interest.
No, I'm I'm not too okay, so I'm not too knowledgeable on this part of history. Like, I kind of know ins and outs about what pertains to my subjects, right?
What is your subject?
Because my subject absolutely overlaps with y'all.
What is your subject? Because that's what I should have asked beforehand.
Right. So I'm more so into evolution, Paleolithic, Neolithic culture, theology, history of Black women, history period of Black people, but I do a special look for Black women. Just within that wheelhouse. That wheelhouse. I'm not too into the Kemetic science or anything like that. I'm kind of into theology in its entirety. So yeah, I'll dibble and dabble in Egyptology just to understand the theology and how it evolved into Greek, into Rome, into Canaan, you know, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then cross-referencing it with laws and things like that. Because I'm definitely one of those people who see how the religion or the spirituality system, how it dictates how the law is written. So I like to do that comparison as well.
I can dig it. For sure.
Yeah, but I can listen all day.
Is there any time period you prefer to dabble in? I mean, I'm like theology in general is encapsulating all of
yes, it does. History. It does. So give me 1 second. That's my job. Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm. A1, I'm just glad somebody other than me and Leandre can sort of talk about some of these problems as it relates to archaeological or historical justification of things. So I appreciate the addition of the sister.
Definitely. She's a part of the freshman class. I'm over here working on the graphics now. Getting some new animations together for this week to drop.
That made me feel like I was in like the Source magazine or something.
Oh, you definitely are in the Tighten Up Debate League Source magazine for sure.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And you picked my favorite color.
Purple? Okay, yeah, I did good. So you got a presentation Wednesday and a face-off Thursday.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'm very excited for both of them. And just to answer your question, my favorite time period would definitely be uh, late Paleolithic, early Neolithic, hunter-gatherer information. That's my favorite time. That's when the world made sense before, everything went crazy.
I can dig that. And that's interesting because so far, none of the archaeological sites we mentioned did not exist then. All of these sites are at least Neo-Paleolithic as it relates to their earliest settlements. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm
Avaris.
into the people, the hunter-gatherers that were, cultivating that land for the agriculturalists to come through to build the cities that later come. Like, that's what I'm into.
Yeah, see, now I would love to get your understanding of basically how Lower Egypt, the northern region, especially all the way up until Amos, how that territory was just sort of there for the hunter-gatherers and people that wanted to feed off of the land to feed off of the land. And then how all of that switched once Amos came through, rode by Avaris, and then plundered the city of its goods. And it's interesting. A lot of people think the abandonment of Avaris happened then. That's a myth. The ancient records do not mention the records from Kamos don't mention mass removal of people. It does mention a mass pillaging of the economic value at the port. So what did the Egyptians do when they saw the Hyksos chilling, ruling, doing what they was doing? They pillaged the city. They took away the vineyards. They took away the gold, all of their riches, their boats, and they did not quite, expel people. According to Kamos, they primarily plundered the city. And a lot of people get that misconstrued, especially once you jump forward, get to Ramses, the Ramsonite period, and those lieutenant kings likely had Hyksos stock. And that's where it gets confusing. How can you say he kicked out all the Hyksos or that the Israelites are Hyksos when clearly the Hyksos might have been the rulers of Egypt again through the Ramessites? So it's an interesting way history works. And a lot of, we just
when you were talking about the houses, I was thinking that, okay, so you do have a Hyksos ruling class, but who's to say that during that time when they were ruling, that people from their, the area that they came from didn't also come in, right? And, it probably been more favorable for them, the early Canaanites, that could go back and forth because it's their people that are ruling it now. It doesn't automatically prove that, regular people, because we kind of always focus on royals, but regular people spread their DNA too.
Of course, yes, absolutely.
You
right.
know what I mean? So regular people could have been there. The borders could have been open a little bit better. You know what I mean? Who knows? And so that's why I was saying, I do see some precedent for what you were talking about. I do see that. It's just I don't see a smoking gun or a connection to every dot. But you know how history and science work. We could have it 2 months from now. Who knows?
Yeah, I personally don't think substantial evidence will be dug out of the ground that demonstrates, hey, the Israelites, friend. I don't think they're going to find an inscription in the next or future excavations at Avaris or even at Tel El Contir, where not Pithom, where P. Ramses was, or even in Goshen, just south of both of those locations. I don't think we will find Astrakhan or literature saying an Israelite was here. You see what I'm saying? It's going to be a little more discreet as it relates to how those people articulated themselves in history. Especially if this, like the time period we're talking about right now, this is pre or proto nation of Israel. I wouldn't really say Israel is a nation until the 9th century BCE, 10th century BCE. So we still got a couple of hundred years after they begin to settle in Canaan for the nation state to sort of be functional, from my assessment. And yeah, but like,
Sorry, I got a work emergency. I didn't hear the last thing that you said. I'm sorry about that, but I have to go.
it's
But if
fine.
y'all still here, I'll definitely pop back up.
For sure. Peace. And I'm going to email you, sister. Mm-hmm. So what's up, brother Sadiq? What you not talking about today, my boy?
Sadiq might be taking a nap over there, man.
Oh, nickel fritz. Matter of fact, A1, we can go ahead and do this a little bit right now. Like, with the logos thing. All right, so let me see. How should I tell you? Give me 1 second. All right, you can go to logos. Let me make sure I'm typing everything in right. All right, if you go to logos.com, like logos.com.
Oh, that's what you want me to do?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Logos.com?
Yep.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to. Okay, yeah, you can do it that way. Let me know when you're there.
It's there.
Okay, yeah, now I can see it now. All right, so in the top right hand corner, you should see the little person logo. All right, click on that. Top right hand corner.
Oh, the sign in logo?
You could sign in, and I'll have to send you my login real quick because you don't have to download all the books to your phone or nothing. You could use it strictly off of this.
Yeah, because I don't
Off
see
the
a little
website.
person. I don't see a person in the top right corner like you're saying.
All right, let me see. Click.
What do you see on the screen?
I'm on the mobile app, so it's a little different.
Oh, you gotta look at the screen and see what I see.
Yeah, okay. Click sign in, I guess. I'm gonna
Put it in Facebook messages.
all right.
So I could just copy and paste it.
1 second. Facebook. Boom, boom. All right, so that's the that's the login. And that's the password.
Let me stop sharing it so it don't show all that. Okay. Hold on. Okay, we're in here. Add it back up.
All right. So yeah, that faces the pictures in the top right hand corner now. You can click that. All right, and use on the web. Do it say that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Click that. Boom, shakalaka. So now you should have access to my library in here. So you could click library on the left side. And I don't care if you store that in your joint or whatever. Just let me know if you want to make a purchase.
Okay, no, I ain't gonna buy no. Hell no, I ain't gonna spend your money.
All right. But
'Cause I can order
well,
these. Is this stuff on Amazon or somewhere else, or is this?
this is like
Because I like.
this is like Kindle. This is like Kindle on crack.
Okay, I like physical copies. I'll be spending money on books, so I got a little library over here.
I do too, my boy. I got over 3,000 that should be available in this library. I don't know why it's not.
Am I looking for something specific or?
Yeah. Type in Ralph. Yeah, how Israel became a people, because that was the book I was just telling her about. Yeah, if you clicked on it, boom, it should pop up with the whole book.
Oh dang! You just gave me a crazy extensive ass library. Yeah, I'm about to save this. Appreciate you.
Yeah, so
This is
we
sources
was,
for debates for me. Oh
It's-
snap! You done messed up now.
it can be that too. Yeah, so
I
all
don't
right,
know
so
what
yeah,
JFB is. I didn't open this.
JF, that might just be a translation, Bible translation. It's too blurred out from my side. So yeah, like in that book right there, sadly, the one thing I don't like about, like, that's one of the few books in my library on this platform you can copy and paste, but it won't tell you the actual book page. That's one of the few books it won't do that for. But yeah, like if you was looking up the 4-room house issue, this book has all of that stuff talked about in it. Yeah, you could click on contents, look at the table of contents and search it that way, or you could have just clicked the search button right next to home.
Full screen this. It's like making it so small. I don't like that.
You should be able to drag it from the right side and pull it all the way over. No, yeah, like that, or like, right where that bar is, where you can scroll up and down in the middle. You can literally move that all the way to the right or all the way to the left. There you go.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, so you see where the line is, you got that gray space, and then the book starts. Like if you go right there, nope, I'm trying to see the mouse now. I don't see the mouse.
I'm on the edge where the line at.
The right side or the left? Okay, yeah, I see it. Go over a little bit more to your left. A little more. All right, right, a little more. Like literally this edge of the border right there. You should be able to grab on that and drag it all the way over.
No, it ain't messing with me right now.
Well,
They ain't rocking with me, man.
oh well, but you can do that on this app or whatever.
Damn.
But yeah, this does give you access to my library. Boom. Now, if you weren't able to, you should be able to slide it like that now. It's still not working. Oh man. No. Oh well. But yeah, you can at least search a lot of the books that I got in here like this.
Okay. There we go.
Boom. Now you did it. There you go. But yeah, you could do that. Now I don't see the rest of the library. But yeah, you could jump back and forth in sources this way. You could pull up a English translation like the ESV or whatever. Like yeah, you can close out this book. I was just trying to show you how to use the book. But yeah, if you can get back to the library, click on home. Maybe that'll show you what the library is again. Oh, okay. there we go. Yep. Now you can type in ESV or any translation, right? Yep. Yep. You can click on the ESV. It's gonna pop up.
What is this? A translation of?
It should be
the Holy Bible.
The Bible, yeah. I didn't. Okay, yeah, there we go. It's on the right. So yeah, you can scroll down to any random verse. Like you could even any random verse. It don't matter. Yep. Okay, so they did that in this one. Yeah, you could copy or you could highlight one of the words. Yep. Right. Yep. And then it should do. You might be able to do a search all. You can highlight stuff. You can create bibliographies on this app. It makes it. It do a lot, bro. It do a whole lot. Wait, what's that on the right side? Okay, that's not what I was looking for. Try another translation, cause never mind, it's on the left. So yeah, when you clicked on the word, boom, it gave you a what is that? I can't read it. Oh, the lexicon. Okay, so yeah, boom, you get lexical references on your left side now. So if you wanted to see what that word meant in the lexicon, you could just click on that word on the left side. And then it should pop up with another book that is the actual lexicon. You know, or if you wanted to look at textual variants, right? Like when I did my last show on critical, or not even critical editions, but textual variants, Ill Doctrine. Ill Doctrine asked me a question, and that question was the overconfidence that one could get from having access to a critical edition. So like you could click on library and type in apparatus. All right, a couple joints should pop up.
Keyboard freeze. Damn, my shit just froze for some reason.
Oh no. Damn. That nigga put I in there. APP. Hey, okay. So yeah, like the first one. That's the SBL critical edition apparatus. So the way this apparatus functions is a little different than like the super standard critical editions. This is sort of like a critical edition of critical editions, right? So where you find variations in the manuscripts, they're going to be as represented in critical editions of the text, right? But like if you were to do apparatus or type in click library again.
Click library again.
Yeah, I know this is getting real tiring and boring. Type in TYHG. What? Okay, just TH. Maybe that's it. TH. Tyndale House GNT. Interesting. The critical edition didn't pop up, or the apparatus didn't pop up. That was what I wanted you to look up, but it should be the apparatus that popped up. Yeah, scroll down a little bit. See, you can learn Greek, you can learn Hebrew. Got all the books for that in here.
Oh snap! I'm about to get on my Hebrew.
It's going to be Tyndale House Greek New. It's the last one right there. The Greek New Testament apparatus. Yep. did that one pop up at? Okay, it's popping up over there. Boom. So like, all right, yeah. You see, well, you just
These
went
are
back to the point.
downloadable. I can download these.
If you really want to, yeah, you could take the login and password I sent you and download it to your phone or your computer if you really want to. I do not recommend it because it's a lot of files. It's over 15 gigs of hard drive.
No, I was just talking about like the PDFs of each book I wanted.
The easiest way to do that would be through the app. And then you get to pick which books you prefer to have stored on your phone.
But I can't save them to my computer on my hard drive.
You would only if you put the app on your hard drive. These are not like, these are paid for books. This is not my digital PDF EPUB library.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but like, so like, all right, so on the right side, if you were to, you see where it say page 2 or whatever, or contents on the right side, click contents. And yeah, that third, yeah, you can click right there, the third one. Yep. So that's the Gospel of John, Evangelion Luke. I'm sorry, Lucan. So yeah, that's the Gospel of Luke, and you see how this one's slightly different from the one on the left. The one on the left does not list the manuscripts, like Aleph, B, C, Phi. It doesn't list the manuscripts on the left side because it's only doing textual reconstructions based on critical editions. So it's identifying where critical editions differ and their particular differences in word choices. While on the right side, this critical apparatus, it shows you word choices as it relates to particular manuscripts. But yeah, so like this is just a brief little intro. We would have to have a whole nother show just breaking down how to go through some of these sources a little faster. You could even let's see, in the top left hand corner where it says passage or topic, you could type in up there, study assistant. I don't know what it does on the computer. Click study assistant on the far left side. Because I think study assistant is like the app's AI.
Yep. I use Logos books to answer questions like, how does Jacob dream at?
There you go. So yeah, like you could type in down there, 4-room house debate for Israelites, and you can click search, and it should. This is kind of cool. I'm trying not to. I love it. I don't like AI personally, but it's making it way too easy for me to not want to use it.
The 4-room house debate centers. Let me make this full screen. Close out of this. Actually, dang, I don't want to close them all out. So, wait, how do I do this?
You might have to close out everything on the left side.
I see.
And then on that right, I don't see view.
Yeah, I don't see view on there either. That's I was wondering if it was going to work.
You can drag that to the left side though. Copy and like hold and drag it to the left. It should be able to drop over there.
I don't know where to grab it from.
Right there.
Oh, there we go.
All right.
Okay, what is this? I didn't open this. Maybe I did. Okay, so if I close all this, no, I ain't gonna.
They're not letting you do the view.
Nah.
Oh well. Well, just Check that out right quick. What does it say?
Yep, it says the four-room house debate centers on whether this architectural style can reliably identify ancient Israelite settlements. This dwelling type, also known as the pillared or pillar courtyard house, flourished from approximately 1200 to 586 BC, and its practical design with ground level areas for food processing, storage, and animal husbandry, and upper floors for living activities made it well suited for rural farming families. The scholarly consensus has shifted dramatically. Beginning in the 1970s, archaeologists uncovered structures matching this design in regions outside traditional Israelite territory, including Canaanite coastal cities, Philistine settlements, and areas in Transjordan at sites like Tel Kizin, Tel Quazil, and Sahab. Scholars including Alstrom argued that the design evolved from late Bronze Age Canaanite traditions featuring courtyards surrounded by multiple rooms, rather than representing a distinctive Israelite innovation. The emerging consensus holds that the architectural form developed from local Palestinian urban building traditions and served as an adaptation suited to hill settlers with limited labor and resources facing multifunctional household needs. That was just the first two paragraphs. I'm like, oh, well, there's only one more. I might as well read it all. However, significant methodological problems undermine the consensus. I guess that's important. The identification of buildings as four-room houses has proven inconsistent. Notably, the site at Sahab, frequently cited as four-room house outside Israelite territory, actually contained only a single room divided by columns within a larger complex, lacking the typical characteristics of authentic four-room houses. This suggests that misidentification of architectural remains may have led scholars to prematurely abandon the four-room house as an Israelite cultural marker. The debate ultimately reflects broader challenges in using material culture to establish ethnic identity in ancient Levant. Sources down here.
Yep, and like you see where it says here, and here for the Ralph Hawkins book we were just looking at. That's only because that particular resource will not give me the particular page citations. That's the only reason. But like, yeah.
This logos.com doesn't do that?
Well, it does for the majority of the books in the library. Like if I wanted to tell you, oh, well, this Hebrew word means this, and I can share it with you in a quick quote, like I would literally copy what I see on the page, click copy, and then when I paste it over, it would include the actual page reference, page citation. Like I could try to demonstrate this in the back chat for you real quick. 1 second. Let me try to open up my own logos right quick. All right, so just to try to give you a little, let me do this. Dang, why is it trying to copy so much?
Say this for my next debate.
All right, boom. All right, so you see what I just shared in the back chat in the side comments? It actually gets jumbled up in there.
Where you put it at, in the gauntlet?
No. It's in the live stream.
Oh, in the private chat?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You want me to read that?
No. I'm just saying, like, I had to edit it. So the most recent one. The second one, you see how it actually got like the book page publishing.
Oh, at the bottom. Yeah.
It won't do that for that one book and like maybe 2 or 3 other books in the library, but the majority of them, yeah.
I understand.
And yeah, it's an interesting resource. It's a fun resource. You know, as long as I'm up on my memberships right now, I need to pay one. But yeah, over 3,000 books in my library through Logos. Now you got access to it, and you know a little bit on how to use the joint, just in case. Like, oh, were they talking about this? Well, you know what? Courtney did say that was in this book. Oh wow, you know. And if you want to interject, and I know it's not really your place, you just a host. I get it. You a good host. Shouts out to the Titan Debate family. But if you ever wanted to interject on one of these topics, some of these topics, boom, you could either do it through the search assistant. You could like type in a brief little comment like that, and then boom, get a result. And by the way, you don't have to use my books, my library. Like if you wanted to, you could have clicked on where it says your books, and then change that to the library or the online library. No. Like, click out of that real quick. You see at the bottom of the page, it says your books. Nope. Yeah, search tool. Yeah, study.
Huh?
The study assistant.
Study assistant.
Right. Yeah, now when you type a question over there on the very bottom of the study, right there.
Okay.
Yeah, you could just click on a particular book. You could do all books. All books is going to give you like more information. So like if you wanted to, oh, that's a good one. Exit are Hebrews Haribu. Haribu. I ain't never did it over there.
So you can share your screen, man. Come over here trying to make graphics. You got me doing all this typing. All right, hold on. R Hebrews. What was the word I was supposed to type in?
Haribu. Haribu.
Or Hebrews Haribu.
Remains contested. Linguistic similitude. Many scholars note the similarity of the form. The key issue is the scope and definition. Covered a much wider geographical territory than the Hebrews, and may have reason that the people who were usually known as Israelites were at times identified as Haribu, but that term included many other peoples of similar status as the Israelites. Rather than an ethnic designation, the term appears to be a social, describe a social condition. Yep. All right. I never knew it was going to say that, at least in this resource. And it's, yeah, I'm wondering, I'm gonna have to do that on my computer. I ain't trying to hold you up no more though.
I was about to say I'm about to go to the bathroom. Go ahead, keep talking.
Oh, Snickle Fritz. Well, I ain't really had nothing else to say, my boy. I was trying to hold out for the sister in case she was able to pop back on, but
okay, well, we'll close out. Closing remarks for the night. It is like I do got to get up early. I got some business to take care of. I ain't mad at you.
For sure. Shouts out to A1, the greatest host on these YouTube streets. Shouts out to the Titan Debate League platform. Shouts out to the bar. Shouts out to everybody. Tighten up. Come correct. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Perfect timing. And I'm out on that one.
We're going to end with the song by Connie Son, Family All Around Me. And remember my motto, treat your smile like your money. and never let them steal it. Peace.
Let's pause the noise for a second, because if you're still here right now, you're already different. Not everyone gets this. Not everyone understands real debate, real scholarship, real intellectual smoke. But you do. This is Coliseum of Arguments. This is Titans Debate League. And what happens here doesn't survive on algorithms. It survives on the people who believe in it. When you support through Cash App, you're not just donating. You're fueling the arena. You're the reason we can bring in high-level guests. You're the reason we keep unbiased judges. You're the reason these debates stay sharp, fair, and uncompromised. This platform is built by thinkers, sustained by supporters, protected by the ones who know value when they see it. If this show has ever sharpened your mind, has ever entertained you, or has ever challenged what you thought you knew, then Cash App is how you say, keep this going. Not everyone contributes, but the ones who do, they're part of what makes this real. Coliseum of Arguments, Titans Debate League, powered by the people who get it.
My heart is bleeding in a pool of blood, I'm drowning. Yeah, my heart is bleeding in a pool of blood, I'm drowning. I look in the mirror now.
Family all around me. Family all around me. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. We are family. We might have the same last name, but that don't make you my family. I got some people with the same blood, and I know that they can't stand me. I got some people I call that ain't kin, that's gonna pull up and handle it. They take care of that business like family. We come from them trenches like family. They talking, you listen, that's family. They don't tell your business, that's family. They calling your phone, coming looking for you. They say that you missing, that's family. They don't need permission, that's family. When you hurt, they can feel it, that's family. Let them come while you're cheering, that's family. Let them come when you living, that's family. Family all around me. Family all around me. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. We are family all around me. Family all around me. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. We are family. Hey, ain't nobody fighting around here. Ain't nobody shooting around here. Everybody that's around here, family. All love, no hate, be clear. No shade, all love, be real. You love them, you should know how it feel. Tired of all these badass kids. Tired of paying all these bills. Family going through the same thing, so they know exactly how you feel. They supply a shoulder I can cry. I provide a place where they can heal. Leave my money out, they don't steal. Let them have it if it's for a bill. Soldier for me when they in the field. Only way I live. Family all around me. Family all around me. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. We are family all around me. Family all around me. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. We are family. We might have the same last name, but that don't make you my family. I got some people with the same blood, and I know that they can't stand me. I got some people I call that ain't kin, that's gonna pull up and handle it. They take care of that business like family. We come from them trenches like family. Family all around me.
Trying to douse my flame. Yes, they can try, yes, they can, it'll douse my flame. 10 toes where I stand, I'm the motherfucking man, wanna put out my flame. They try to douse my flame, no stopping us now, my spirit is tightened. They wanna douse my flame and claim my intellectual likeness. You can catch me in the gauntlet, with a roster full of monsters. Keep the heat in the topics. They try to douse my flame. Ain't no stopping us now, but my spirit is tightened. They wanna douse my flame and claim my intellectual likeness. You can catch me in the gauntlet with a roster full of monsters. Yes, they can try, yes they can. They try to douse my flame. Ain't no stopping us now. When my spirit is tightened. They wanna douse my flame and claim my intellectual likeness. You can catch me in the gauntlet with a roster full of monsters. Keep the heat in the topics. They wanna douse my flame. If I pull it out, it's a profit. These scriptures keep flowing while teaching disciples. You can catch me in the gauntlets with a roster full of monsters. If I pull it out, it's a profit. This the sound of insurrection. Keep around in the weapon. Blowing loud, it's a session. Lighters up, shake met the goddess. Pour out effervescence, be the runner-up, the next contestant. Not hearing you haters, ain't no blocking my blessings. They try to douse my flame. Ain't no stopping us now. When my spirit is tightened. They wanna douse my flame and claim my intellectual likeness. You can catch me in the gauntlets with a roster full of monsters. Keep the heat in the topics. Yes, they can try, yes they can. It'll douse my flame. 10 toes where I stand, I'm the motherfucking man. Wanna put out my flame. They don't know nice is eternal. Knock a nice light infernos. They're trying to douse my flame. Yes, they can try, yes they can. It'll douse my flame.
Hear the sounds of the trumpets. Start the rounds in the gauntlet. Get down or lay down when we stomping. This the clash of the titans. Hear the sounds of the trumpets. Start the rounds in the gauntlet. Get down or lay down when we stomping.
Real for a second.
It's the clash of the titans. Hear the sounds of the trumpets. Start the rounds in the gauntlet. Get down or lay down when we stomping. This the clash of the titans. In a dimension where infinity gauntlet is a mere toy compared to intellectual prowess. Build and destroy.
Decipher, intellectual sword will slice ya, or whatever device ya. Recommend surgical, precise pen, hand heated, the room will spin. If men get treated, them goons gon' spin. Level heads with feet, paradigm to box you in. Got a pair of dimes in the box you in. Don't matter paradigm, pair of nines, and your clock won't spin.
Hear the sounds of the trumpets. Start the rounds in the gauntlet. Get down and lay down when we stomping. It's the clash of the titans. Hear the sounds of the trumpets.